Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. Not important. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem, but this is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Captain Linda. Before he say anything, I'm gonna say, I know you're surprised. I know you're surprised. And a Wednesday too. I know you're surprised. Can't hear you, brother.
I have a tendency to sometimes wonder, but it's good to be ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's good to be ready.
Look at here. Like Monique said, if you're ready, you ain't got to get ready. Ain't that what it
That's
is?
right. That's
If
right.
you're ready, you ain't got to get ready. But Leonard, I'm ready to ask you this question, though, man.
Well,
What?
it better be a good question.
Yes, sir. I got a good.
Good,
I got
good
a good.
morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Yes, sir. Look. How you doing this morning? But listen, man. What is going on with your ex president, man, Mister Orange Do?
What you think wrong with him, man? He is who he is.
Man, look at that, man. They stacking stuff on him, man.
Well, it's because he does. This man has no good intention.
Mm-hmm.
He is an evil individual.
Wow.
We must do everything we can to keep him out of any power whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where the lightning at or what is the delay,
Wow.
but I pray for it each and every day.
Mm. Mm. I'm gonna tell you something. Man. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, man. And like I said again, I think that I can't say stacking because what they're doing, they're obtaining the evidence
Yes, the
of
evidence
what.
has been there.
Yeah, they're obtaining the evidence of what is going on. So I can't truthfully say. Good morning, Chris. We got quite a few people. That's Steve. Oh, we got a lot of people that's coming in. Good morning to each and every unique. Good morning, Darren. Good morning to each and every one of y'all, man. Glad to have you. If you get an opportunity, give us a call 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to have your input. But as I was saying, I think they're just obtaining the evidence. It's not looking good on his behalf. It's not looking good at all. And so we just got to see how this thing can actually play itself out. Um, man, he in a stink right now. He's in a stink,
What
and
you
that how the old folks say. Yeah, he's in a real funk right now. He's in a funk.
and you know what? That's his plight. That's what he chose for his life. So
Mm-hmm.
one, I don't care for him at all, really. So it doesn't matter to me what happened. I wouldn't piss it on him if he was on fire.
Mm, mm, mm. God Almighty. And see, and that's the whole. A lot of people feel that way, but there's a lot of people that's on the other side of the coin. There's people actually out there protesting right now in Florida,
Hmm.
uh,
Listen,
protesting on
another
his
devil out, another devil. Those devils are out there in Florida, California, all over the world. Trust me, the tear and the wheat has grown together.
mm, mm. Badger. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
You've been keeping up with the news about your ex president, Mr. Orange.
When I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in. They stacking evidence, man, and he's in a real predicament right now. Something he actually created himself, but he's in a predicament.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised it's taken this long.
Hmm. Well, it's process. They had to go through the process, go through the necessary steps in order to get to where they are right now. I think a lot of stuff is coming out, a lot of information is coming out, and some of the stuff that from what I was looking at the news, and I what I like to do is I don't like getting news from just one side. I go to CNN, Fox, CNN, all of them, and I look at what they're saying. And a lot of time what you got to do is eat the meat and spit out the bone. But and Fox gonna stand in this corner regardless of what he do. He can't do no wrong over there at Fox. And so
No.
they're pro Trump. And so whatever Trump say, that's what it is. It's almost like he's endorsing the check for them. Some of the other
Probably is.
some maybe some of the other companies, man, not so much, man. They're they have their stance as well. Some of them anti-Trump, and so that's why I look at all of them. But what's really being said is consistently is that he obtained 15 boxes of top security information that he wasn't supposed to take out of the White House. And I don't know how that plays out or what that really means. But I know it was wrong. What do you say to that?
Man, if you're specifically talking about him grabbing the boxes that he shouldn't have been grabbing, or all that, or that info stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why he's free to roam at the moment.
Mm.
I mean,
Mm.
if it's against, if it's that illegal for him to do what he did, then why in the world is he not already sitting in a jail cell?
Wow. Let's ask Leonard, why is he not sitting in a jail cell right now?
Because the process does not push for that. The
I mean,
process is what it is, but it's not. It's not like it can't be improved.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, say for instance, in order for there to be a Thursday, there must be a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So things
Mm-hmm.
have an order in which they go.
Mm-hmm.
If you want more aggressive rules and things as it relates to these matters, you have to campaign for those things. You have to put people in office that want to change things that way. It is
Mm-hmm.
not what people think. See, that's why for me, it's not so much Trump, it's right and wrong.
Mm-hmm. Was he wrong?
Of course he was wrong. You know he's wrong.
Mm.
But he has the right to be indicted. He has a right to give his side of the story. He has the right to try to prove what is being said, and the evidence that people have is false.
Mm-hmm. Let me
And
ask you
it's
this question.
not.
Let me ask, I don't think it is, but like I say, and that's due process.
Yeah,
Certainly
that's due
everybody.
process.
Yeah. But my thing is this right here. What could he say? What could he say in front of the American people that would make you, Leonard, think that he got a bad deal? Evidence is there. 15 boxes in his house in Florida, outside of the White House, which it was not supposed to leave the White House at all, not in any form or fashion or whatever. What could he say that would make you, Leonard, say, well, or at least give you the benefit of a doubt?
Nothing. I mean,
Wow.
what? Say something.
Mm-hmm.
If he's never said anything
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to the contrary of what we see, he
Mm-hmm.
is set to be wicked. That's his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
This man has never shown you that he has any intention of doing a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it. So it's not about me in love with him or hating him the evidence, the
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
Either you are on that side and you are that type of person, or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
There's no in between on where you could sit and say, well, I think he'd be good for what?
Mm-hmm.
He'd be good for what? For what?
Mm-hmm.
No one's come up with a great idea. He hasn't even come up with one. Just a bunch of ignorant,
Yeah.
lying things that look a lot like what I have witnessed from recordings and things like that of back then when racism and things like that were legal.
Mm-hmm.
Him pushing for even more oppression of Americans,
Mm-hmm.
oppression of anyone not like him. That's who he is. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you have to deal when you're confronted with racism and people who are just indecent. So when I hear somebody say Trump all the way, and I hope all y'all go to hell,
Whoa.
because
Whoa.
that's where you deserve to be
Mm-hmm.
for what you support
Mm-hmm.
at
Five
every
zero.
level.
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. How do you feel about what we're talking about this morning? Is Trump getting a bad deal? If there's anybody out there that feels he's getting a bad deal or not, give us a call. Let's have the conversation. Let's have the dialogue. Again, 508-924-3521. Should he have the benefit of the doubt? I mean, yeah, there was 15 boxes. Yes, classified information. Yes, it was supposed to stay in the White House. But is there anybody out there that think he's getting a bad deal?
Yes.
Is there
Yeah,
anybody out there?
I know somebody getting a bad deal. They're
Mm,
gonna call it today.
I wish they do. I wish
Yeah,
they do.
they usually do.
Mm-hmm. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Let's hear from you. Let's hear your stance. Let's have a dialogue. Let's have a conversation. Let's hear your stance on why you think Trump is getting a bad deal. Now, it was brought up in the conversation yesterday about how he has such a stern grasp on Hillary and her emails and stuff like that. I need to know from maybe a Trump supporter, if you're out there, I need to know what is the difference. Hillary was so wrong with those emails. That was one of the main defenses that he had when he was running for the presidency against Hillary Clinton. Them emails. What about those emails? What about Mr. Trump? What about those 15 boxes?
But you know what? There's no more boring an argument
Mm-hmm.
than what if,
Mm-hmm.
because it ain't what it is. There's nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
What? If I go to court for murder, what does Raheem have to do with that?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even people that I don't like, even it would be for my advantage. I would never propose that type of argument.
Mm-hmm.
Or what if? What if what? Just make something up? So now you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
dwell on what you made up as opposed to what is?
That's your major defense. Something
But
you made.
that's my problem with a lot of things, and why if I were changing media and things like that, you don't get to do what if.
Mm-hmm.
You deal with what is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't deal with
Reality.
what if unless one that is the next step.
Mm-hmm.
If that's where we're going, if we're coming up with scenarios on what we're gonna do about it, then we what if. But to what
Mm-hmm.
if just for the sake of arguing, no, that's no interest to me at all, because then I'm creating the argument and it has nothing to do with what is actually real.
It has nothing to do with reality, the realities of life. Let me go to Badger. Badger, you have to be on Trump's defense team. He have 15 boxes of information, classified information in his house, in his closet, wherever he had it. You have to make a defense for him, Badger. What is his defense?
I mean,
And then there's silence.
the judge is linked to serial pedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm.
I mean, there's that.
Okay, now Leonard just said if he kills somebody, what do they have to do with me? And so that's a what if situation. So we have to deal with the facts that was actually on the table. We're dealing with the facts with Trump with this particular case. We can't pull another case in to right or wrong his case. So let's deal with his case. What is your defense on his case?
And you're asking me to defend Trump?
Yeah, I know it will be challenging, brother. I know it will be challenging. But somebody got to do it. I'm not gonna do it. I know Leonard ain't gonna do it. So guess who's next?
I would tell him I would defend him if he literally hands over every ounce of money he has earned
Mm,
and all of his businesses.
wow.
Then I'll think about it.
Start over from scratch. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even do that.
Well, I just want to I just want to get it all in writing and get it all from him. And then actually just run the business, because I would just on paper I'd defend him,
Mm-hmm.
but in the court office I'd just sit there and just watch him go down.
Wow. Now, see, even in a situation like that, you're actually jeopardizing your own ability to practice law, because if you there to defend him, you have to defend him to the
Hell,
best
if I
of your
got all the
ability.
money and business that he runs,
Mm-hmm.
why
You
would I
wouldn't care.
care about why yeah.
Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, out there happy as a piece, man.
There you
Happy
go.
to see another day of life. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on with you, man? We're talking about this situation with Trump, Rico, and I'm gonna put you in a very unique situation. The trial is coming. You're his attorney. You're his attorney. Trump's attorney. He's hired you as his defense. How do you defend what he did? The 15 boxes, classified, certified information at his house outside of the White House. How do you defend him, Rico?
Hey man, just go ahead and go to the next person, man.
So basically, no defense.
Basically, no more energy towards him.
Okay, Leonard, how would you defend him?
I wouldn't. I
Mm.
wouldn't.
You okay? Let's say this: you are his court appointed attorney.
I
Defense.
wouldn't.
You wouldn't take the case.
I mean, I don't think I would take it because of the nature of the case. There's no right there. So and that is the problem with a lot of with a lot of things. See, my principles don't apply to just this subject, and my principles and things like that are not irrational. It's just a very simple fact that we have an issue, and we need to know those people who are on our side, because it's not just him. It's the nature of things here as they deal with this type of oppression and tyranny. So we have to be very careful. You have a lot of people talking. There's people coming in. We had war. We had this and you be sitting over there just sipping mint juleps by the pool. What kind of war is that? What kind of war is that? It's within your reach to change things. It's within your reach to do that which is right. So I think that everybody should be trying to do that, not just as it relates to discussions about Donald Trump and what he tried to do to America and still is trying to do. But how are you making America better? How? What are you doing for somebody?
Can America be better, Leonard?
Of course. It gets better every day. If one story gets better, at least that's one.
How can America fix the wrongs that is done for people across the board? Because America has done some wrong to pretty much everybody.
Yes.
In some way, shape, form, or fashion. So
Yes.
how could America fix its evils?
The exact same way that you fix yours. By setting your intentions on doing that which is right.
Intent.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
and that's the thing. Does America have the intent to do the right thing?
Some do. Almost half do.
If I'm making a gumbo, and I got all the good ingredients, and somebody come along and they drop something in there, poison or whatever, something in there, Clorox, pour some Clorox in it. That one element destroyed the whole thing. There's a lot of great ingredients in there. So how do we get rid of that Clorox? How do we make sure that that Clorox is not poured into that gumbo?
You scrap the whole pot. You scrap the whole spot. You can scrap the whole pot, but we don't have to. We just have to go through and get rid of those things that are oppressing the majority of Americans. This is not. It's not witchcraft.
But those evils have been here.
Yeah,
I've been here several decades. I ain't gonna tell you how. I've been here several decades, and I have not lived in a decade or a season where the evil did not exist. I didn't let it pattern or govern my life, but it still existed.
Right. That's the way it should be. That's about the way it should be. I'm not going to be involved. I'm not going to do that. Because see, this is the thing about it. If you sanctify it, you sanctify it.
Okay.
Ain't no in between or anything like that. If you are a person that seeks to do that which is right, guess what? You won't only be just doing right. People who know you will know that you do right. The people who follow you will do right. The people will see the value in the right that you're doing. And they can do that. They can do. I tell somebody, you sitting up here raising hell about somebody else and this, that, and the other. About what about your children? I guarantee you, if you put as much energy towards this Donald Trump foolishness as to your broken family, you will be better.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to realize your part in all of this is to be better, is to do
Mm-hmm.
better, is to do right, is to, if you ever get any authority to do that right, which is said in the scripture.
I just want to be right. Oh. Okay, let me keep this thing going. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, I'm going to put you in a very uncomfortable situation right now. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. You have been appointed to represent your favorite orange man in court. You're his defense. You have to defend them 15 boxes that he had that he took out of the White House. You have to defend him. 15 boxes of classified, certified information, classified information that he have in his house outside of the White House. What is your defense?
First of all, I have the right to decline any case that I went to, and that was not going to happen. I'm not going to do that, and I believe that everyone has the right to defense,
Mm-hmm.
but in all honesty, I could not do it from a
Mhm.
clear conscience or a clear heart. So he would have to find, or they would have to find someone else to defend him. Because
Okay.
I would have no justification for what he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. That's just me. Now I got friends that are public defenders that they probably would take it no matter what, but I could not do it
Mm-hmm.
in all good conscience.
Yeah. Exactly. You'll be in there and losing the case and celebrating the fact that you're losing.
I sure would.
Lord Jesus. Now we're talking about America, and America has certain evils in it. As long as I can remember, I've been here several decades, and it has certain evils. How does America right its wrongs, Cassandra?
I'm with Leonard by intentionally doing what it knows is right. The only way that you right or wrong is with right, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, let me
But
say that again.
mm-hmm.
The only way that you right or wrong is with right,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So there we need to do what we know is right, what we know is just,
Mm-hmm.
what we know is equal, and then things will turn around. And how do we do that? It's something that Leonard and I sort of harp on all the time. We have to get out there, we have to vote and bring in people that will make the changes that we know that is necessary to make this country a better country. Because
Mm-hmm.
right now, it's not great. It's not even good to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. It's not a good country. It may be somewhere between awful and fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
just me. That's just me.
And,
We
and
have
it also,
we
Raheem,
hold on one
go
second.
ahead.
Let me read this. We have James on here and on one of the apps that we're on Bigo, and he said America got to do, and they're not going to do it. They got to treat the poor fairly. He said they got to treat the poor fairly. I think he's writing some else, but it got cut off, so hopefully the other part will come in as well. But he said America have to treat the poor fairly. They got to treat the forfeit. He said they got to treat the forfeit. I'm not necessarily understanding exactly what that means, but the phone lines are open. Give us a call. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. He said, I don't know how that came up. Okay. But the number is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Go ahead, Leonard.
Just say, let's look at an issue and stop being so general. If you
Mhm.
have a side of government that does not want to, diabetics, this is for you, and people who have family members that are diabetics. If
Mhm.
you have a side of government that does not want to cap the insulin cost of insulin,
Mhm.
that's what you need to live, right, as a diabetic.
Yeah.
Why would you support the side that would allow for insulin prices to go so high that the
Mhm.
person with diabetes can't afford it?
Wow. Point.
Why would you support that side?
Mhm.
Why would you
Doesn't.
support anyone that didn't want someone else to have access to such life-saving medication?
Mhm.
Why
Mhm.
would you be on that side?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
That's good.
because something's wrong with you or you're benefiting from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What else is there?
Excuse
What
me.
is there? And unless you just, I can imagine building a story if I was a wicked white
Mm-hmm.
racist, if I could tell you that only make you believe that only black people was needing this insulin and only poor black people was suffering because of it, guess what? I could probably trick you into voting Republican.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Rico, James said, if you're poor in America, you're going to stay poor. Do you agree with that?
If you don't have the right access and exposure, we was talking last night about that positive reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody to sort of give you some type of direction or guidance, or you might just have that innate ability to be a visionary and have that willpower to, what I'm saying? 'Cause there are very special people that have came along in this existence. They came from nothing and became something. So you
Mm-hmm.
can come from it, but we sometimes call those people unicorns. Really a
Mm-hmm.
hard place to come from. But see, you ask a question. I like to stay on topic. You ask the question. I want you to ask it again.
Which one?
The one about can America do better? I think is that what you
Yeah,
said?
yeah, yeah. How does America fix its wrong its ills? Because it's created a lot of ills for a lot of people across the board. How do they fix their ills?
Easily. Before you even can fix a ill or fix a wrong, the people that commit the wrong and had the power to commit the wrong have to admit or even recognize that they did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't acknowledge that you even did wrong, then ain't nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you throw
Mm-hmm.
everything else out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You just gonna have to deal with it. Pull your bootstraps up. Just get over it. That's the mindset we have.
Mm-hmm.
This is a land of opportunity. If he could do it, you could do it. It's just your choice. You ain't got no mental disabilities. You ain't got no traumas. You just lazy.
Mm-hmm.
You just making bad decisions. No, man. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in this gumbo that you talking about, and the Clorox been poured in it.
Mm.
It was poured in it when we hit these docks.
Mm-hmm.
And we still want as much of the gumbo as we could get. Well, we
Mm-hmm.
want everything that they produce.
Mm-hmm.
We want to succeed. We want our best. We want to be the best we could be in a system that wasn't even meant for us to be in it. I ain't that dysfunctional.
Mm.
I think some people call it an oxymoron. But yeah, they can fix it. Only if they acknowledge something is wrong or that they did anything wrong. I don't know anybody that never admitted that they did anything wrong, fixed the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I know people that admitted they was wrong and felt bad about it when they tried to correct it. Some maybe even apologized.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah. Um, it, man, dude. I think in some ways I'm kind of tired of talking about Trump.
Mm-hmm. But that's what's going on, brother. We talking about what's going on.
I mean, there's other things, in my opinion, that's going
Okay.
on that's
Well,
more
Badger,
important.
stay on topic for me, brother. That's what we're talking about right now. Work with me.
All right. Here's big, giant, stupid man who knows how to get that people see as a white Christian male who has money, and he's stealing from the government and now spreading rumors and lies about the people that are after him being pedophiles or gays or whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance, more ignorance, more ignorance. I mean, if you want a Trump supporter, see if Charles wants to call in.
They,
That's not a punch at him. I
mm-hmm.
know he supports Trump.
Yeah, he
So,
does. He does. He nine,
um,
nine times out of 10, he's listening this morning. He's definitely listening.
matter of fact, he's the one that sent me the thing about the pedophile judge or whatever the crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he be sending all kind of stuff all the time, man. Cassandra, David said, no, I'm sorry, James said that it's amazing, and his point was if you are poor in America, you want to stay poor in America. He said he don't see why Congress and senators and different people of that nature make 180 to $190,000 a year, and he said for doing nothing. Do you agree with that?
Ask James, is he poor?
He just heard you, brother. Are you poor, James? But Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, yeah. I believe. Ooh, I believe that we don't have the poor, because I'm in that number. If you look at how they rate poor, I'm listed in that number. If your income says whether you're poor in America, I'm among the poor.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that there are, for some people, opportunities. People can say, "Oh no, if you want to get out of you can do." No, we don't. I think it was Rico that mentioned access. Yes, there is money out there, but many of the poor will never get access to that money. I don't care what you say. You can tell me anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. But I know people that have done everything that they were supposed to do and still have not gotten access to this great American dream that everybody talks about.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that access is everything. I believe a lot of, especially inner city youth, a lot of them do not have the access to education like everybody else. You can say, yes, they do. I declare, I work around them. Some of y'all may work around them, and it's happening. But a lot of these kids do not have the same access that white America children have. That's just my opinion.
Okay. And James did answer your question. He said, "No, I'm not. But most of the people already are. I need to take advantage of some opportunities." He said, he followed up by saying, "I came out as soon as in 69. I got lucky and went to work for the utility," and it cut off right there, for I guess the utility company or something of that nature. That's what he said in response to your question, Leonard. You want to address it?
I mean, I just asked because, one, I don't tell stories that people don't employ me to tell.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about the information, the things that are available, and the stories that I've heard, and the issues that I work on with certain people. I am not on that bandwagon of champion on what people do not have and this, that, and the other. Because 9 times when you show up, you realize, why didn't you do that?
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to pick with folk, because I don't know nobody that don't have access. I know somebody that didn't want to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people that chose other things to do. Hell, I know people that make a good bit of money just singing and dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Half of you could go to school to be a doctor if you don't know what you wanted to do. You could be a technician doing something, anything if you wanted to. Now, I'm 51. Education has been free ever since I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Education being the building block to the step to gainful employment. You didn't get lucky. Jobs were available. You went down there and got in line and got your job. Sometimes it's as simple as that. But I know folks that just simply did not want to work.
Wow.
Because that 9 to 5 wasn't their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Education wasn't their thing.
They weren't cut that way.
Right. They just wasn't cut that way.
Mm-hmm.
So they chose to do other things. I don't even fault them for it because that's their life.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them made great decisions. Some of them made bad decisions. But when people sit around talking about the poor, who are y'all talking about? You can't say you poor and then be talking about other people being poor without making this distinction, the difference between you and them. I mean, that's if you're trying to resolve a poverty issue, because there is an answer to poverty.
Which is?
Education.
But you just said that some people not cut that way. Go ahead. Hold on, I'll come right back to you. But you just said some people wouldn't cut that way, and education is not their thing. If that's the only way for them to attain this this wealth that we're talking about. If education is out there thing, what are they to do?
You have to want it though.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, so I know some people think they don't need nothing to nobody, and they shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have to go to school to do nothing, and you should just let them come to your house and fix on your house.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Well, come on now, we can't sit around here and act like we don't know it. I just don't know people who are suffering that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been down there in workforce group. As a matter of fact, New Order always goes down to the Georgia Works Project, the people in transition, and just what they are. Some people who have made grave mistakes, who have come out of prison, who have done have had all types of issues. But what we all do agree on is that let's take advantage of this opportunity to go to
Mm-hmm.
the next level.
Good deal. Good deal.
That's called transition.
Mm-hmm. Let me go to Cassandra. You wanted to say something?
That's okay. I'll wait my turn
No,
back around.
no. It's your turn now. What's on your heart?
Oh, okay. No, I just, man,
I can't believe Cassandra. I can't believe Cassandra lost for words.
If we believe that poor people, you just want to be poor. If you believe that most of our youth that are out there, lost and not, if you really believe that, boy, we really in trouble. They don't want to do no better. They just want to be out there doing whatever. I don't see people like that. And let me put this out there, and we can say all we want about gaining wealth or whatever. The Bible that we say we believe in, most of us that are on here that are Christians, says that the poor we have with us always.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do about those people that will be poor always? I mean, that's the Bible. Maybe God got it wrong and it wasn't supposed to be written like that. But I'm just saying, there are people that I know have struggled trying to make it. I know working mothers like I was that put everything they had into trying to pull themselves out. But because of the systems that are in place,
mm-hmm.
they could never get ahead in order to pull them and their children out of poverty. Man, listen, if we believe that people just, damn it, want to be poor, we got our own issues. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I don't know many people that just want to be the lights being turned off or the gas. I went through that, man. I did not want to be in that position with my children. And yes, I'm emotional about it. Please go ahead and say that. Yes, I am. Because that's the reality of me and a lot of other poor people that I know.
Okay. I could agree with you, and my heart certainly goes out to you, and I can feel the passion that you're coming with. And I don't know if that's emotional. I think it's more passionate. But Cassandra, we also have to deal with both sides of the coin. And if a person is in a situation and they know that it's not best for them, they have to do everything they can to get themselves out of that situation. Because with you didn't stay there. You didn't stay there. You did the things that you had to do to make sure that your family had the things that they needed to have, so they were not in that situation anymore. I think what's being voiced right now is a person have to. I say it all the time. God will provide for the bird, but He's not gonna drop it in the nest. The bird got to sometimes get out there and make things happen and do the things that they have to do. If I were to ask, if somebody would ask me, was education always the way? To me, I say no, not always, because like we said earlier, sometimes people are not cut that way. Education is not the way that they can go. They have to find out some other means in order to get to where they're trying to get to bring it together. And so I just say that a person have to have some kind of motivation to get themselves or their families out of that situation. Would you agree with that, Cassandra?
Raheem,
Yes.
I don't know.
No. Talk to me. This way I wins. Talk to me. This way I wins.
No, it's okay. No. It's okay, because I think that some of us will always believe that that people just don't want to do better.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want to do better. And they don't want to take the opportunities. And let me tell you something. It was almost to my death that I was able to work 2 jobs, go to school, man, listen, and still wasn't being able to pull my children up to where I wanted for them to live and the schools I wanted them to be able to go to. Man, I get it. Some of us feel like no, people ain't trying, and that's okay. I don't have that's just what you believe. But I'm talking about reality. If you, especially for single mothers, that's all I'm focusing on that end.
Okay. And that's fair.
Mothers.
And that's fair. That's very fair. I grew up, and a little bit about me. I grew up in the projects, and I know what it's like. The struggle. The struggle is real, and I'm not gonna say that not everybody, people want to be in that situation. I would never say people want to be in that situation, but there's so many different layers on this thing, man. I've seen both sides of it. I've seen both sides. I say it like that, and I've seen what people work, almost work their fingers to the bone, like the old people say. And I've seen other people that sit there and wait for something and hope that it comes, that pie in the sky mentality. I've seen that as well. And so, there's both sides of the coin. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm with Cassandra, man. I mean, I don't get it. Yeah, true enough, you do need motivation and you do need that resilience, that drive. But we forget, or we act like we forget sometimes that people are broken. Some people lack self-esteem. Some people lose hope because they've been through traumatic experiences. And then I think sometimes we just say stuff because it sounds good when it fit the narrative. But what happened to that? If you don't know no better, you can't do no better.
Let me ask
you. If they don't know no better, how they going to get to it?
Okay, Rico, let me ask you.
They ain't had no access. They ain't had no exposure.
Rico, let me ask you this
question. Go ahead.
Rico, let me ask you this question. And this could very well be a very unfair question. I apologize in advance if it is. But and you say if a person is broken, and I've seen that, man. Your heart feel it for the people. I've seen it. People where they're broken. But what are they to do? Are they just to give up or try something new? I'm just trying to figure out, how this thing supposed to play itself out. If a person is broken, are they supposed to stay there and wither away, or are they supposed to get up and take another chance or another shot at this thing? What are they to do?
They're gonna live life. They're gonna do what humans do, and they're gonna figure it out. And some people it's gonna be through trial and error. Because they still don't have the game plan, the playbook. They don't have the guidance. They don't have the direction. They don't have the mentors. They don't have the supervision. They're exposed to people putting their penises in their mouth when they're 3 and 4 years old. I mean, people, man, this is life, man. There's some people ain't got that access to exposure. I told a story that was on in nationwide news about a 15-year-old boy setting the house on fire and burning up his sister, not even realizing he didn't know any better. He didn't do any better because he was that simple-minded. His parents controlled and oppressed him to the point to where he was foolishly and ignorantly, because he wasn't mentally prepared or he wasn't mature enough. They handicapped him by the way they done him, and he set his house on fire. They didn't realize they locked him up first, and then they realized, wait a minute, this boy don't even realize what he did. He didn't try to do that. Then when it came out that the parents hadn't even been letting them out the house or go to school.
James,
I mean, it's hard to come up out of that.
Oh yeah,
but guess what? It's people 5'4" want to slam dunk. But every now and then you find one 5'4" that can slam dunk. But we got this perception that, if you don't get it, you ain't trying hard enough. Well, all I got to say is Colin Kaepernick still want to play a quarterback in the NFL. Is he not playing because he don't want to?
Wow.
You got people that oppose you in this world, and we are on the land of people are the biggest practitioners of trying to oppose and suppress people. And then all of a sudden we forget that the ball and the odds were stacked against us, and some people actually fell into those cracks that they designed for people to fall into. That's the reason why they invest in prison systems, because they set the game up for people to automatically drift into that direction. How you gonna pull yourself up out the ghetto? Well, I see this dope boy. He got things. Now he ain't got things. He got things.
Mm-hmm.
That dope boy got all these things. I see some of these folks on TV got, and he talking to the money too. And as far as I know, that looked like the route to go, because ain't no doctor or no astronaut or nobody else coming down here to talk to him about it. And my school teachers talking amongst each other about how I stink. They ain't asking why I ain't turning in no work. They just talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing I see good is this dope boy stacking his pockets and pulling these women. I think I'll take that.
Wow, and that's a reality. That's absolutely a reality. James said this. We got Curtis online. I'm going to go to him as well. He said, no, he's supposed to get up and recognize, talking about that's broken. Say he was supposed to get up and recognize somebody who was broken, and ask them how, somebody who was broken, and ask them how they did it. Second part is, see, we hate to ask, but everybody needs a starter. He said that you're supposed to go out there and ask somebody that was broken, that you saw that was broken, and got himself out of that rut, and ask them how they did it. And in some instances, Rico is he's talking about that drug dealer. The drug dealer may have been in a rut and said, well, look, I'm gonna go out here and start selling drugs. Now, we're not condoning it. We're not saying that it's okay to go out there and sell drugs. We're certainly not saying that at all. But in some situations, that's how a person get themselves back up on their feet. I know
You know, man,
some
everybody like to reference music.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody love referencing music on here.
Mm-hmm.
What about that song? It's called Survival.
Mm-hmm.
Only the strong will survive. You remember that song?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, everybody loved it because they could relate to it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be strong, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You got to be strong, but everybody ain't that strong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? This is a hot topic this morning. This is way out Wednesday already. Curtis, what's going on, brother?
Morning, brother. Morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Curtis. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Well, I really don't know what y'all talking about. I just called in, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I caught right when Rico was like maybe 3 sentences before he finished. So I don't know, exactly what the topic is.
Well, we're talking about making it over, overcoming obstacles. America. Well, the question was, how does America get past the wrongs that they've done? Because America have done wrongs to so many people. Then we start talking about the financial situation of people when they find themselves in a rut, when they find themselves in a situation where the lights are being cut off and different things of that nature. How do they overcome those obstacles? And some said that they have to just get out there and, like it's been said, pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And some people say that it's real hard for them to do that because of the hand that they dealt, they don't know. So, Curtis, what do you say to that?
I say all of the above is true.
Mm-hmm.
Will America? Your question was, will America ever get past its lies?
How would America right its wrongs?
America can't right its wrongs, man.
You say can't?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. America has done too many wrongs. Too many wrongs. They will never be able to right all of those. At best, they can do is apologize and try to exist in some form of truth and understanding. Not an understanding that's beneficial to just you or your people, but an understanding that's beneficial to all who are involved in America.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It saddens me. It saddens me because I remember being stationed overseas. When I was stationed overseas, man, you walk up to people, introduce yourself, right? And they would, this is going to sound crazy what I'm about to say, but, our Caucasian brothers and sisters they get called Americans while we get called the other.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
We treat it like the other. And
Mm-hmm.
anybody that's African American, brown, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Asian, they'll tell you, like, oh, wow. So America can't right its wrongs, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could pay its debt, but that still ain't going to right it wrong because you set the debt.
Mm-hmm.
That still ain't right it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So, and Rico's right, man. I mean, some people, some people are forced into doing whatever they got to do to survive, man. That's the first law of man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, first law of man is self-preservation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Now, how does one pull themselves up by the bootstrap? How does one, if a person's in a situation, man, where they just at their wits' end, and they look around and their family is suffering, man, lights are being turned off and water and all kind of stuff, and they just don't have it. How can one overcome that obstacle like that in this country that we live in, Curtis?
Seize your opportunity. Remember that in this country, although
Does
does
everybody have those same opportunities, Curtis?
Well, I said seize your opportunity. I
Mm-hmm.
ain't talking
Yeah.
about
Mm-hmm.
a specific opportunity that gets you thousands and thousands and thousands. I'm saying seize your opportunity. So everybody got an opportunity to panhandle. Everybody got that opportunity. Every single one of us got that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got the opportunity. I hate to say this, but everybody got the opportunity to be a pharmacy technician.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody on this planet don't have that opportunity. Ain't nobody in America that don't have that opportunity. Let's just keep it real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some of the richest and wealthiest people in this country right now are pharmaceutical technicians. They just don't tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can throw one name out there, and I mean, you can check it. You can fact check it. One of the most powerful men in our government family, his in-laws are pharmaceutical technician smugglers.
Mm. Mm.
You know what I mean? So everybody, I mean, y'all can, I ain't gonna put the man name out there, but fact check. Which the family got caught smuggling over 5 metric tons of cocaine?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Got you. Let's go. Go ahead, Curtis.
Oh yeah, family definitely connect. So it don't take nothing. It don't take nothing. Flip it, flipping it, keep flipping it. I'm not saying right.
Mm-hmm.
First law of man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a good deal. Good. Yeah, and again, I got to put that disclaimer out there. We're certainly not endorsing in any kind of way the sale of illegal products. I'll put it that way. We're not at all. Let me go to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, good morning, Raheem. Good morning. I'm doing fine.
Good. What's on your heart, brother?
How
Talk to
everybody
me.
else doing?
Hey, doing good. Talk to me. What's on your heart, brother?
What's on my heart? Let me think. I gotta think about that for a little while. I've been listening to you guys for a minute, and just and my heart is, I don't know. It's like a replay. It's like life is in a cycle, and the spin on the news, the spin on events in our world, it just keeps like in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping a high anxiety and argumentative. But I was listening to your last conversation about pulling up your bootstraps, and I was thinking that when we came out of slavery as a people, that's what we did. We did it in a tremendous kind of fashion. We learned to read faster than any other foreigners that was coming in this country. We learned everything. We already had skills, building skills and stuff, but we just applied that to ourselves and built our self-economy and relied on ourselves and didn't have the the government or liberal kind of influence on us. But yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I'll just listen.
Good deal. Good deal. Let's go back to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just okay. Yeah, we did pull ourselves up as best we could after slavery, with being kicked down every time we tried to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap. You know, there were many, many Black people that were able to get properties and different things during the years that were stolen from them. We know that. We finding now that families have been fighting to get back property that was just taken from them. I cannot tell you in Georgia, because I do like the lynching stuff and the research on this kind of stuff. I cannot tell you how many Black families in Georgia ran in the middle of the night to get away from. See, it all sounds so pretty. Y'all make it sound like it's so, oh Lord, like it, you know, bypass me because I'm about to cuss. I don't want to talk.
Okay. I come back to you, sis. I come and this is a very passionate topic, man. It really is. Badger, what's on your heart? Rico, coming to you next.
Talking about the poor, right?
Yeah. Same topic, brother.
You know, before, my spine did what it did, I worked as hard as I possibly could, trying to find the best job that made the most money. Even tried to go back to college. But it was a massive struggle. And I reached out to all kinds of places to get help and couldn't. Nothing. Not being allowed to have, my Native American card. Being white skinned and being told, I have access to all these things. I just don't. I guess I was just too stupid to find them. Because I couldn't find it. Any of the stuff that I supposedly have access to. Also has a lot to do with the state I'm in. And access isn't easy.
Yeah.
Especially, when your body ends up getting screwed up. But then there are others who had help or who found it or was able to, and they're very successful. So I think it's it's an individual type of thing. Something me and Leonard talked about quite often, and I also think it depends on the path you're called upon. I think some people are meant to be where they're at, like me.
Wow.
But sometimes, if you can learn to be happy with what you do have, it's a very powerful tool to help others. It's also a very powerful tool to be able to just to help in so many ways. So, do I have money? Do I have a lot of money? Are we below poverty level? Yeah. But we were blessed with a house that we could afford. We were blessed with being able to have groceries in the house. So we don't go without the material things. It may take us way longer to get them, but we do end up getting blessed if it's meant to be.
That's good. That's
but what we are rich in is family.
30 seconds.
and
Mm-hmm.
love.
Mm-hmm.
So I also think it's going to be up to the individual to decide what is acceptable and what isn't as
Mm-hmm.
well. Learning to be thankful for what you do have and not for what you don't have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was said to me, and my daughter gonna get on me if I don't do it. The cash app to support this broadcast, this ministry, if you will, is dollar sign on Cash App is $ DKM Radio, $DKM Radio, and on PayPal is paypal.me/DKM. So if you're interested, there you have it. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? And Navy, coming to you next.
Man, you ever heard politicians or wealthy people speak about the way lower income people have to live, like they know about it, know their experience?
Mm-hmm.
Or you ever heard white people try to speak about how black people perform and what we think and how we feel on the outside looking in, assuming, but they really can't relate. When you listen to them, you know what, man? Not only have they not been in this situation, but they don't even know anybody in this situation. They don't deal with people like me. So they just thinking that this is what it is. Just like what Joe Biden said that about the super predators. I just want to get rid of them and lock them up. I don't care what created them. Wait a minute. Either you understand what created them and you don't care, or you just so ignorant about it that you don't care. But you can't relate to these people you're trying to lock up. You just want to lock them up. You ever seen that movie Trick Baby?
No.
Go back and watch that dinner scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's so, man, it's so sophisticated, strategic, real smart and slick. I got a school bus passing by me.
Mm-hmm.
It's real smart and slick, but it shows you how good the system works. How traps are set for you to make sure you continue to fall through that cycle. Yeah, true enough, we came out of slavery dysfunctional. But we made it. We pulled our bootstraps up by making this out of what we had, the scraps. Even though it may have been unhealthy, like chitlins. Yeah, we invented a lot of things, but some of those things were good and some of them were bad.
Mm-hmm.
But we still made it out of a dysfunctional situation because of the conditions that were created. And so some of those things that we do are dysfunctional and out of order, but we had to make it work. And that became our culture, out of order. So now we're trying to find the correct way, the right direction to go in, because we done made something work. Just think about it, man. We done made chitlins a delicacy. But you eat them things, man, they unhealthy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when we start thinking about or start talking about people making it out of being poor or poverty, you got to understand, man, that the mental process that it takes for you to make it out of that. Critical thinking is what makes a unicorn come from a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't become an astronaut when you living and sleeping with rats and roaches. I know people that have had rats crawl up in their face and bite them on the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's a heck of a situation to live in. I can't even comprehend. I never experienced that, but now I can relate because I know somebody personally that had. I seen the holes on their lip.
Wow.
That's enough. So now think about that. Going to school the next day or having roaches crawl out your book bag. Man, I hear grown people right now traumatized still. I ain't gonna even say traumatized, but they still have it on their mind about how embarrassed they were when roaches crawled out their book bag.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But they're supposed to do some critical thinking. Yeah, you got to have thick skin, move on, but everybody isn't built that way. Sometimes people have been beaten more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people just haven't been beaten at all.
Good
so
deal.
they can't relate, and they don't know people that's coming from situations like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me do this. 508 and 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. I got to sneeze. It won't come up. It'll come up in a minute. Excuse me. Navy, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, and bless you. I'm doing
Thank
good.
you.
How
Thank
y'all
you.
doing?
Hey, doing good. We're talking about how can America right the wrongs that is done to so many people across the board. And how can an individual, if they're in a down situation, how can they get themselves out of that situation financially, pull themselves up by their bootstraps, or is that even possible at all? What's on your heart, David? Talk to me.
Oh Lord, that's a kind of a loaded, some loaded questions. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, the first question about how can America correct this wrong?
Yes.
Mm. I'm usually optimistic, but I have to be a little pessimistic just a little bit because part of me wants to be like, I don't know if they can correct the
Hmm.
wrongs because, and the reason why I say that is because my thought process is there has to be a level of accountability, there has to be a level of acknowledgement, and there has to be a level of responsibility that I just don't think that the powers that be are able to hit on either of those right now in order to correct the wrongs
Hmm.
that America has done, if we're looking at it as a whole. Because those three things are very hard. They seem so simple, but
Hmm.
it's hard for people to actually execute those things because, well, I didn't do it. So why should I have to pay for the sins of those that came before me and yada yada? And there's not a sense of I don't even know if everybody can unite enough to correct
Mm.
the wrong. And
Mm.
that's like I said, I like to try to find the silver lining in it. But until those things happen, I just kind of think that we just spinning our wheels. We still stuck in the same mud. Um,
Hmm.
and the second question was about how can people what was the second question?
Pull themselves up by the bootstraps. How could they get out of the situation if they're in a financial rut? Are they able to get out, or is the poor always going to be poor?
Mm. Unfortunately, for some, that may be true.
Mm.
And then for others, they find a way. I really can't tell you how they find that way, other than, mm, I'm gonna have to think on that one a little bit because I'm trying to think about myself in that
Hmm.
situation
Hmm.
and how, I had a level of determination that was just like, I saw my mom struggle, but I also saw my mom be successful in other ways, just like I saw my biological dad, just like I saw my grandmother and my grandfather, have and run their own businesses. But I also saw the ugly side of that too. Um, so I wish I could give like a formula or a one size fit all solution as to, hey, if you want to be successful and if you are lower than a pregnant ant's stomach right now and
Good
you're still
Lord.
trying to figure out how your life is going to get paid, then this is what you need to do. I
Hmm.
wish I could give that solution and formula, but I really don't. I think that that's an individual thing, but I also think that it comes along with what you're exposed to.
Hmm.
And honestly, like your mentality that you're fed around, if I wasn't around those that was just like, hey, yeah, you're gonna have some ugly days, and when it comes to entrepreneurship or when it comes to just life in general, it's gonna look like this, but I'm gonna feed something, I'm gonna give something, I'm gonna pour something into you that will carry you over. Everybody doesn't get that.
Hmm.
Because if I'm hearing every day that you're crap, you're never going to be crap, and no matter what you do, you're not going to succeed, then so a man thinks it, so he
Hmm.
is. And
Hmm.
it becomes a self fulfilling prophecy. So
Wow.
I really don't know how to answer that question other than the other questions.
I
They're
think
right.
I think you just did. I think you just answered it and answered it very well. Go ahead, Rico.
I was thinking to a certain extent she did, but I was thinking maybe the question should have probably been if a poor person makes a choice to remain in poverty, what are some of those things that may make that person make the decisions he made or she made? Because I know I was saying earlier that it has to be some mental things going on along with being broken. So I mean, what do you think? Because the comment was made that if you are poor, you're gonna always be poor.
Hmm.
So what would make a person make the choice to always be poor?
um, Again, I think that unfortunately that may be true for some, but again, I think that that goes back to what I was saying about what's being poured into them, how much access to resources that they have. I mean, I see people that come into my office every day that are literally walking 4 and 5 miles to a job, but going back to live in what we call Tent City down here in Gulfport, which is
Mm-hmm.
just a bunch of homeless people that live in tents, but they're going to work. They're doing all that they can. Like they're trying to utilize the resources. We don't have a good traveling and bus system
Mm-hmm.
around here in Mississippi, and especially in my area, even though we are a pretty significant size area for Mississippi, but you still have people that are in their late 50s, early 60s that are getting up at the crack of dawn every morning to go and work for $8 and $9 an hour just to come back to the situation that they left. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that it's because they want to be poor. I think that they're doing all that they can. I don't think anybody wants to remain poor.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're just looking at financially, I think that again, it's kind of a loaded question, but
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like anybody just wants to just remain in that situation because I see them, they're trying, they're putting their best foot effort, their best foot forward.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving as much as they can, but then there's also some situations to where they go to these resources and they're being denied.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't understand how somebody that is trying the best that they can, walking everywhere, they're coming to get it, and you're still telling them, hypothetically speaking, for food stamps, oh, well, you don't make enough. Well, I ain't making nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm barely making anything. So you're telling me that I still have to figure out, I got to go do something that may land me in jail because I'm trying to feed myself or trying to feed the family that I left back in Tent City, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking 5 miles one way one day, every day or every other day to try to make a living. So I don't know. It's a lot of layers to this that we could get into, and it's not just one way, one stream, or one uh, avenue to look at it from.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Let me go.
Raheem,
Yes.
Navy, Navy, you about to make me cry. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for what you said. People really believe that people want to be living on the street. I deal with the homeless all the time. Some of them are some of the most intelligent people you ever want to meet. Guess what? They do just what you said. They go and work for these little staffing things. But guess what? They can't even raise up enough money to get a little one bedroom or a one room spot to live in. It's not that people want to live. Who wants to live with roaches and rats crawling over you in a tent city or wherever you are? Who wants to live like that? Come on, y'all. I know you ain't there. You ain't never been there. But man, just let some type of humanity seep in. And you see that people don't let me put it like this because you're gonna say, well, yeah, some people like being poor. 99.9% of people do not want to be poor. Thank you so much, Navy, for what you said, man, because you said it all in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And let me add
Wow.
my 2
Hold,
cents on
hold,
it,
hold,
Dr. Sam.
hold on, hold on,
One
hold on,
more
hold on,
thing.
hold on, Rico.
Please, just, it ain't gonna take but a second. Ain't
okay,
gonna take but a second, Raheem.
okay, go ahead.
Everything she just described,
Mm-hmm.
everything she just described is happening in the society right now where people will make who are making good money is complaining about inflation and gas.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Even the people that's doing good struggling.
Mm-hmm. Well, hold on.
We living in an inflated time.
Okay, hold on, Rico. I got to be fair to everybody, man. I don't played tennis with y'all a couple of times. I got to include everybody else into this thing. Let me go right now to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks hadn't said anything. We got Toya with a teacher just called in. Want to touch on her as well. Mr. Hicks, what's on your heart, brother?
I was thinking about that question you posed: can America ever
Right is
repair
wrongs.
or
Right is wrong.
fix it?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
I was thinking about my personal life. In my personal life, I can't go back in my life over all the people I've wounded and hurted. My parents,
Mm-hmm.
my children, when I was evolving. I think that for me, I start from now. And it's always a now. Every day is a now. Try to be better. But I think my parents, Four parents from Alabama moved to Georgia.
I think you froze up, Leonard. It's a lot of what Navy said. You know,
Well, I don't have a lot of comment on it because I don't know anything else but struggle. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you nothing else. No, I don't have, I'm just not into it. It's not my thing. I don't campaign for it. What I do is work with people to get them to where they want to be. And one, I don't have to sit around and make a story up at all because of where I'm from and who I'm around and how I was raised. So to me, when I came to the big city and I didn't hear about people having so much problem until, with the problem, the idea of a problem changed. So no, I'm not going to sit here. All I know is that a lot of people choose not to do those things that are beneficial. Poverty is not, you don't just wind up in poverty. You could be born into poverty because of the decisions that your parents made. You understand what I'm saying? But all these great stories of all these people who have came out of poverty, we want to ignore that and now tell people that they can't come out of poverty. I mean, it's dependent on what do you want. Can't nobody make you do nothing. I can't make you go to school, even though I know that if you go to school, even if you went to school for a little bit, or even if you trained under apprentice or what have you, pretty soon you're going to want to eat. Ain't nobody never gave me nothing. And it's not to say that I'm any better than anybody else, because I'm surely not. But what I did do was listen to the people that were telling me better, taking information from the things that I learned on my own. And when I was out there walking around not knowing what I was going to do, I had to come up with a plan for me. So because wasn't nobody rushing to help me. Why wasn't nobody rushing to say, hey, you know what? I got a place you can live and don't have to pay rent, or blah, blah, blah. I came here with a duffel bag and a desire. People let me sleep on their floors and on their couches. But one thing I realized is a lot of people who come from where I come from come here, and we have to let them know, you got to work, bro. It ain't all fun and games. You get caught up out here, you can go to some dark places. So the first thing you need before you start going out to the club, you need to save all your money to get a place to stay. And then once you save up money to get a place to stay, then you have to be able to pay your bills. Then you have to get transportation. Then you have to do blah, 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 blah. Just like most people that I know anyway. Don't nobody just be standing around giving us money, giving us places to stay, giving us cars to drive. I don't know where that world is. All I know is if you don't do nothing, most likely you don't deserve nothing. You got to do something. And poverty, we started off talking about poverty. And first we have to clarify, are we talking about actual poverty or an impoverished mindset? Because that's two different things. And what we cannot deny is that poverty is an actual thing, if you want to break it down, for poverty guidelines, for instance. Programs directed for people in poverty. The hardest thing that we've worked with is those people that don't want the program.
How about those
if
of us
I
that
can make
want
you
help with
say,
the
for instance,
program?
if you're just interested in making good money, if I could get you into HVAC school, you might have to go 18 months. And then once you come out, you're a certified technician to work on heating and air. That's available. That's available. All these types of things we could be doing. The most people I know who have the situations they have, most of them have them because of choices that they've made in their life that have not benefited them. And don't get to talking to me about other things that don't relate. Victimization is not choice. So you can't substitute victimization in a choice conversation.
Did you say not choice? You say
There's
victimization?
victimization and choice are two different things.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Victimization is something that happened to you. That has nothing to do with where you could go and what you could achieve, because too many people have written books and told the stories about what they have done after these things have happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
we
right
need
there.
to
Let me,
push that narrative as
mm,
opposed to the narrative where you can't do nothing and you ain't gonna never get out of poverty and you ain't gonna never, it's just designed that way for you to be that way. No, I'm not getting involved in that
hold right.
type
Hold
of
right.
thing.
Okay. Hold right a second. Let me pull some more people in. Mr. Hicks, you were saying something when we got cut off, sir. Let me let you finish thought, and then we got a couple other people that just called in. I want to touch on them as well. So, Mr. Hicks, finish your thought, sir.
Oh, yeah. I guess my thought was just about the past, about going back and correcting past things.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the deeper you go back in the past, the deeper, it's like a black hole. I
Mm-hmm.
think coming out of depression for me in my life, my experience from everything, was coming out of that black hole, coming out of my past. And I think it was that there's a verse that touched me. It was that therefore there are no condemnation for those who be in Christ, to be a new creature,
Mm-hmm.
and all things are passed away. It seems like just words, but when you take that to heart and begin to feel that you've been forgiven,
Mm-hmm.
then the guilt and shame disappear, and you're able to sort of watch yourself now and keep yourself, because the self-discipline is just seeing yourself. So often people around me can see me clearer than I do. I'd be so wrapped up, and you're so wrapped up in your own views and your own uh, assumptions about life. And people around you say, no, it's not that way. It's not that way. But when you get that, but when you start watching yourself, when someone tells you something that the spirit inside you already told you, you say, okay, that's confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
I got to check this.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But
Can I add, Raheem? Like Brother Hicks has always come on the show and told us these things, and I can remember. How old are you, Brother Hicks?
I'm
73.
73.
73. Mm-hmm.
That man's 73,
Yep.
and he's still telling you how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He said, even though I did all these things and blah, 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 he's still here. He come in and he talks to us to inspire us about, I know how a dark place is. This is how I got out.
Mm-hmm.
I would listen to that story before I'd listen to a story anybody try to charge you $1,000 to hear. With all these get rich quick scams and all this type of stuff. And when I can look at a black man who's 73, a black man still trying to do what's right.
Mm-hmm. Good day.
Despite everything I know about the struggles of black men.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Hold on. To do what's right.
Exactly. Hold right there for a second. Let me first get a phone number 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Toya with a T asking a question, and Captain coming to you next. Toya with a T asking a question. How can America right its wrongs? And it's done wrong to so many people across the board for so many years. And how does a person pull themselves up when they find themselves in a bad situation? How could they pull themselves up from their bootstraps, if you will? Or are the poor always going to be poor? What do you say to that? Two-part question.
Oh wow, no, that was a lot for my brain, and it's early. And I just woke up.
You got it, though, sister. You got it. You got it.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on. So you got to keep going. Okay. One thing I don't do, I don't allow my people to say what they can't do, because I have to remind them. We got people that was out there slaving and sweating in yards all day, having kids having to make it work. It ain't nothing you could open up your mouth and say in 2022 that you can't do, and you black. Get away from me with that. Because we done came from too far and we didn't achieve too much for you to open up your mouth and say, oh, well, I can't start no fake business. All I can do is sell drugs. No, honey, different product. So you just got to keep going. I've learned. Somebody said something about suicide earlier being about attention. Black people always said that. That's why I didn't never have that problem corrected. That's why I had to be 40 before the Lord delivered me, because we think it's a joke. We really do. But that's more than that. You know, God had to remind me, you were so powerful. The devil had to find any way, anything he could do to infiltrate you. And not only that, you so powerful, could nobody do nothing with you. So he had to turn your mind on yourself.
Mm.
Come on.
This is spiritual battles we forget all about. We tra-la-la our tails around here, forgetting about God, forgetting about the spirit, and then wonder why our kids are suicidal. Because you won't remind them about God. Everything is what y'all did, you did, they did, we did. We forget about God all the time. We forget to teach our kids how to pray. Talking about, oh, I want to wait until they get 7 and they make up their own mind. You sound silly as Google.
Mm.
I mean, it's just the things we do to ourselves because we don't proclaim our power. We don't take the power that God gave us. We always say it's the government gonna do. You're right. It is about mindset because my thing is this: how much dirt outside? If you look out your window, somebody got dirt. Why do we gotta wait on the government to feed us? Ain't it dirt outside?
Mm-hmm.
So why we getting ready to go hungry and there's dirt outside and you can throw some seeds out your window? Oh, we gonna get locked up. It's always something. Like I said, we don't want to do the work. You got to keep going. Because before somebody stopped me, I heard all them things, oh, black people this, black people that. I'm gonna be determined, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I became so tenacious. I had to build myself up because ain't nobody just stand by and say, Toy, let me go there. No, I was attacked by men. I was attacked by the devil. I was attacked by everything. And we all go through this in certain ways because the devil know what he needs to do. But you have to keep going. And if what they say, a man thinketh, therefore you shall be, which is true. And God told me plain as day, don't get mad with me about what you got because that's all you asked me for.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to get this thing back in perspective and know there's 2 powers. The one is the power that God gave each and every one of us that no man can take away, and the power that you have for yourself. You need to get up and use it, and don't let no devil, no human tell you lies about what you can't. Because when you got a Most High that open up his mouth and create stuff, and you're in that image, that means you were created too. And don't you ever let nobody take that from you. Keep going.
Good deal. Good deal. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I thank you for asking. Good morning to everyone.
Hey, I gotta ask you the question, brother. How can America right its wrongs for what it's done to so many people across the years?
Well, I don't think America can right or wrong. To be honest with you, I think she have done what she's done, and that it's too late. Even if she tried to attempt to right the wrong, she would never satisfy the victims of her wrong. She could never satisfy the victims of her wrong. So she can't right it. She can't right the wrong. I mean, she can make an attempt to do it, but I just don't believe she can right it wrong.
Okay. Now, how can one pull themselves up by their bootstraps if they find themselves? How can one pull themselves up by their bootstraps, or is the poor always going to be poor?
Well, the poor is not poor. The poor is not poor. The Bible said, "Blessed are the poor, for they shall inherit the earth." If the Bible says, "Blessed are the poor, for they will inherit the earth," and in the earth is all of the riches. How can you be poor when you inherit all of the riches? Poor is not only a condition, but poor is an attitude. And how do you pull yourself up? And how do you change your attitude? Everybody on this line, everybody, I do believe, had once upon a time been in a position of poverty. And some of us still in poverty. But poverty is an attitude. Poverty is a condition. You don't have to be poor if you don't want to. The beautiful thing that God has given every one of us is the ability to choose how we live our life. It's called free will. And when you got free will, animals don't have free will, which means we have the ability, no matter what condition you're in, to change your life.
Mm-hmm.
And having that ability means I don't have to be poor if I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So being poor is an attitude, and it most certainly is a condition. But the attitude produces the condition.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what Sister said. Ain't no way you could be poor today. With everyone needs something. If you're going to be a salesperson, you only have to understand the principle of supply and demand. I've seen them in New York City.
Mm-hmm. 30
People that
seconds.
you consider homeless in New York
Mm-hmm.
go to a doggone fire hydrant, take a daggone they go get these bottles they can get from any wholesale, and put the water of the fire hydrant in the bottle, fill it,
Mm-hmm.
put it on some ice, and stand there and sell it to people as they driving by for 50 cents to $1. I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And the water just come out the fire hydrant.
Wow.
So people could be poor if they want to, but you can't pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It has to be your attitude. That's all
Wow.
it is.
Gotcha.
And people would do better. Remember this: if only they are taught better.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's
That's
good.
that's
Good.
that's good.
Good deal. Curtis, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
What's on my heart?
Yes, sir.
Man, Cap just said, what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's man, it's hard, man. Come back to me, man. Let me process this thing, because I even get upset about it. I mean, especially when we start talking about homelessness and things of that nature, because it ain't all cookie cutter like we think it is, man. You know what I mean? Like, you just drove me to another thought. It's not all cookie cutter like we think it is, and it's not all cookie cutter like they say it is.
Mm-hmm.
In that particular area, man, forgive me, my phone probably gonna switch.
It's actually switching on now. I think it must have just got into his car, and so his phone is switching over.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you back. There you go.
It ain't all cookie cutter like we want it to be, or like we want to believe it is. You know what I mean? And even in trying to believe that, sometimes we can fall privy or fall prey to the lie or the setup, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Now I'm in it every day.
Mm-hmm.
The most, when I look at society as a whole, it's the one segment in society that is stolen from more than any segment in society.
What's that?
It's the homeless poor, man. The homeless poor and the working poor are the two segments in society where there's so much money ciphered from the monies that's allocated to them. It is ridiculous. You could probably almost fill up a whole wing in a prison. That's how much money is being taken from them.
Wow.
I hear folks talk about programs and this, that, and the third, and for the most part, absolutely on point. Like, absolutely on point. There's programs out there to help with this. There's programs out there to help with that. But in real time, what's happening in the majority of these cities is those very same programs that we know that should be working for the people can't work for the people because, one, they're so top heavy that 90% of the money they're getting is going to salary. Two, you got criminal behavior going on right there in that agency. So they cipher money, and the poor folk, they don't really know what's coming in. Listen, I'm landing plane like this. I'll give y'all a prime example. No city in the United States of America gets more money per person than the city of Baltimore. None. Whenever a bill is signed and it comes out of D.C., Baltimore is the first place to get it. We just got $641 million. $641 million. We just got all $641 million has been allocated but not released. Well, why is that? Why is that? Even down to the $90 million that you could use immediately, they just suspended the flex fund of $70,000, all because they switched directors and the new director came in and said, no, we're going to suspend that. Well, this poor population, this homeless population out here could use those $70,000 because now with the rates of rent and all of that, the price of rent, the market value price of rent and all of that, can't even me.
Wrap it up,
I
Curtis.
can't afford it. You got landlords that's saying, listen now, because we're talking about homeless folk now.
Yeah.
And we're talking about programs. All of these programs, a lot of these programs is bull crap. They're getting the money and not providing the service. Let's just be honest. I deal with them every single day. It is a big five that's getting most of the money. Yeah, one of them is called Catholic Charities. We can throw it out there. They're getting this money, and they're really not truly providing the service. Or they're so top heavy, they don't have the money on the back end to provide the service.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I've landed like this. We are talking about homeless poor or working poor. You're going to tell me I did a pilot, man, because I didn't believe what some of my clients was telling me. So I said, you know
Wrap
what?
it up for me, Curtis.
Try myself.
Wrap it up for me, brother.
So I went and applied for an apartment. Paid the fee. Let them run my background. Now I'm clean as the board of health. I got some things in my background, but my stuff is sealed, right? Do you know they came back and told me I did not qualify? You know why I did not qualify?
Why is that?
Because I did not make 3 times the amount of the rent.
Wow.
Talk about what I got in the bank. I didn't make 3 times the amount of the rent. If the rent is $1,000, that means you want me to make $3,000 a month. Now, who you know with a voucher? Who you know gonna get a voucher if they make $3,000 a month, Raheem?
Stay right there, Curtis. Stay right there. Not too many people to answer your question. Let me go back to who I got here. Let me see who I got on my line here. Let me go back to Navy. Navy, what's on your heart?
Okay, sorry, I was a little distracted. I'm just taking everything in, honestly, and I just kind of want to. I heard and I appreciate, everybody's different perspective, but I do just kind of want to put this out there when it comes to the debate. I won't say argument, but the debate of the working class, poor, homeless, whatever category of poverty that you want to put it in. And I do agree that there is some education and available resources that have to come along with it. But I also had to think about this because, and I'm completely looking at it from the people that I see every day, taking myself out of it because, like I said, I had a level of determination and I had people supporting me where I would not fall through the cracks. But again, everybody doesn't have that. So, okay, we're only looking at this. I can give, if I give you a book and I'm communicating that book to you, but if you cannot comprehend what's in that book, then it still doesn't do you any good. And for me, I feel like that's a part that's being missed. I would 1,000% agree. Like, if 2020 didn't teach you nothing else, it taught you to hustle. And my biological dad, me and that dude could sell ice to an Eskimo. One thing I'll never be is broke because that's what was taught to me. But I can't expect somebody else to have, one, that same level of determination, 2, to be able to have the same qualities that I do and know how to use my gifts, if you will, to benefit me, to get me out of a situation. I can communicate with you all day long, but if you don't know how to comprehend what I'm communicating to you and execute that, then you're still just It's educated food. If
Exactly.
you don't know how to comprehend it and execute it, then we're still back where we started. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there, and I'm a hush.
Good deal. Good deal. I'm gonna read again what this is James from Big O. He said I still say it starts at voting. I just started voting with Obama when Obama went in, and he said he's 76 years old, and he just started voting when Obama went in. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Rico, talk to me, brother.
Man, I'm right along those same lines, man. I'm glad Navy come on here, man, because pretty much she'll come behind me and say everything that I'm trying to say the right way. I said earlier about the critical thinking. You just aren't born with that. Most of us had to be taught to understand critical thinking, just to even try to use logic. Some things we did get naturally. Automatically, we learn to consume. But some things we had to learn to understand and put 2 and 2 together on. If had nobody taught us that 2 plus 2 equals 4, we wouldn't know that. So it gets to a point where you say, well, okay, I'm listening to Curtis. I'm listening to Cassandra. I'm listening to Navy. And then I'm listening to people on the outside looking in, and I notice a big difference. The people on the outside looking in saying, well, you got a choice, and you could do it, and you shouldn't be in this situation, and this and that. They're telling the truth. You are supposed to be able to do these things if you have the right access and opportunity and know how to get to that.
Okay.
Even though there are forces that exist that are developed and meant to break your spirit. Now, some of these homeless people we talking about are vets. They went into the military and did the same thing that everybody else did. And the government ain't even helping them. They vetoed some stuff. I ain't going to say veto. They refused to vote for some stuff the other day that was going to help those. A lot of these homeless people are vets.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we ignore, I don't want to say we ignore, but we got to hold in mind the story that Navy gave about the people that are working and walking 5 miles each way, trying to live in a society where gas is $4 a gallon, and trying to eat in a situation where food is more expensive now, living in a tent. Well, they shouldn't have had children. That's what somebody might say.
Wow.
But the thing is that this situation exists, these conditions exist. So now these people are in a situation where maybe they are supposed to be able to have this access. Maybe they should, but if they don't know how to get it, they won't be able to get it. If nobody is like, this is what Navy and Curtis and Cassandra do. They do outreach to a certain extent. And see, that's the difference on speaking on from the outside and then speaking on the inside. See, they could take themselves out of it. Like she said, she knows that she picked up certain things that work for her, but then at the same time, looking at these other people, she has to also relate to their situation and their conditions and understand that somebody didn't show them or teach them. They missed it.
Yeah.
So now what she does, instead of just saying, well, you know what, you made a bad choice. You're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be doing that. It's 2022. She's saying, well, let me keep working with this person. See, outreach is huge. If you notice that these people aren't doing this and you understand the reason why they aren't doing it, it's one thing to tell them. But you don't just tell them and throw your hands up and say, there it is, go for it. If you really want to see it work or understand how it's supposed to work, continue to be there for them, be that support system that they always lack. Because through this struggle, they still got to go and jump across these obstacles that they're going to face every day, coming from that broken place that they came from. Just because you told them don't mean they're going to get it the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, you got to make sure that there's going to be a support system, something consistent behind them to reinforce that.
That's good. That's good. Ibrahim. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get off of
mute
when when you were talking to me. Can I really quickly say something?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I do get emotional about stuff because it's just my heart and my passion for people, my love for people. But I was the working homeless. I was teaching school every day, Monday through Friday. And me and my children were actually living in a hotel, a one-room hotel, 4 of us in a one-room hotel. And I was working. And guess what happened? When you're trying to get out of that situation, the money that you're spending on a weekly basis just trying to keep a roof over you and your children's head.
Mm-hmm.
You can't save money. How do you save money? It's impossible.
Yeah.
To save money when you're doing that, because all of your money, I was trying to keep them in a halfway decent hotel. So my entire paycheck would go to pay the hotel room. And then you're not even talking about food. The food stamp they gave us didn't even last. I was teaching school.
Wow. Wow.
You understand? After my husband left, got on drugs and left.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk, that's why my heart goes out to people that are struggling, especially working poor people.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're doing everything you can to take care of you and your children, your family.
Mm-hmm.
So for people to try to diminish that or demean that, say, you just don't want to do no better, that's a lie from the pits of hell.
Wow. 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 Okay.
What's a lie from the pits of hell? I'm sorry, y'all got a call from a youth participant. What's a lie from the pits of hell?
Saying that you don't want to do better.
That the working poor, the working poor people, I was saying that I lived homeless with my children because my husband got on drugs and we lost everything. And I couldn't pull us out of that hotel because I was so busy paying other bills. So for people to say that the working poor don't want to do no better or, that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie from the pits of hell.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Let me tell you.
Hold on, Kurt. Hold on, Kurt. Kurt. Hold on. Let me circle back around, brother. I just touched. Give me. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna come back to you. Don't go nowhere. Let me go to our Badger. Badger, what's on your heart?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's a struggle across the board, and the amount of struggle to be approved, especially for my wife to get health insurance, and we need a bigger home. And not able to afford it. Not able to. Texas is a horrible state to live in. Are any of y'all gonna help me and my family move out of this state?
I'm sure we could. We can do what we can. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing, though. I have to ask y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on disability. My son was able to get it, and it's below poverty.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. As good as I am with money, as well as working on investing and things like that, we're stuck in this state.
Wow.
So it's, man,
it's a lot,
I've
right?
been trying to stay civil the whole time, and I'm just, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we were saving is gone because of having to pay hospital bills and still be in debt. I still owe, college loans that I'm still fighting to get taken care of. You can, unless you are blessed or have things just fall in your lap, which does happen. Like I said, the house that we found, it was a foreclosure. This is a 1 out of a million fall in your lap moments.
Yeah.
So yes, there are people out there that are able to work hard and get out of the situation they're in. But you can take another person that works just as hard, if not harder, and it just doesn't fall into their lap like that.
Exactly.
So there's so much about the situation of, I mean, and I can't, I meet people of every single race that it has this issue of having to fight and work hard
30
to
seconds,
take,
Bench.
especially with family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, explain to me how $256 is enough money each month to take care of all your bills and afford health insurance.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
How? For a caregiver.
No. I can't see it. We're gonna let me get a phone number 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love your input. Got a pretty hot topic going on this morning. Let me go to Toya with a T. Hadn't heard from her in a minute. Toya with a T, what's on your heart, sis? Toya, you there? Toya, trying to find that.
Yeah, I'm here.
Trying to find that mute button. What's on your heart, sis?
It's winning. That mute button must have been working out, honey, because baby. But no, listen, very valid insight, right? You know, the world is so big. I understand why God said He is, because there's so many different things going on and so many different angles, right? And when I was dibbling and dabbling, the Lord had me do service for about a year and a half straight because I was just out of control. And I did meet people who didn't want it. We'd sit in the school, they'd give them the food, they'd take the food or the toys for the kids and sell them back to Walmart. Try to get them a job, get them, say, hey, I'll drive you back and forth to work. When you get your first check, just pay me then. Would not do right. They didn't want it. I know people who got clean, got sober, got their own place, did that for about a year and said, nah, I got to go back. Because we keep forgetting it's a spiritual fight.
Yeah.
Saying about the flesh, it's about your soul. And we're getting so distracted about all of these things. The devil cannot have you. Not if I'm allowed to open up my eyes and pray, because I pray for everybody, people who I know and don't know, because this is a spiritual fight. Forgive them for what they do not know. The devil wants your spirit and your soul, and whoever he can use to break it, mamas, daddies, sisters, brothers, that's what he gonna do. But we have to, I declare, you have to be strong. And only God can give you that insight and wisdom. Only God can make you new after you've been drugged, dragged, beaten, put down. The whole entire world says and says and does things about Black people. You know how hard that is? We got to keep going. Because words are powerful. You know what I'm saying? They can hurt, but you got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? You can feel like that about me because I'm Black, and that's okay. But God told me different, and I got to figure out who I'm going to roll with. And is it hard? Yes, it is. It's hard when your family turn against you, the world turn against you. Yeah, there are programs out here that should help, but for some reason, that devil know how to use what he used to get what he do. I know people who, yeah, you're right. They say the program don't work, but I know people who get slews of food stamps. And I mean, I just be like, how? But I see now, whatever the devil can do to take your mind off of trusting God, he gonna do. So we have to be very careful when we walk in this world and the things that we go through. We have to remember your Most High. He's the only one that can get you out. He's the only one that is above these laws that say you don't qualify and make sure he'll blow on it and you're qualified. So that's where I think we're losing it at. At least that's my mistake I noticed. I'm walking around here trying to do it myself, suicidal, want to kill myself, extra promiscuous, want all these things because I thought I can handle it. And at the end of the day, and you're right, the world did say a lot of, Black women, we got to give her a hard time. And men, even Black men made it harder. My so-called male friends, if I said I wanted to play football, they made sure they were going to hurt me on that field. That was betrayal. But again, I had to surrender. I had to know who I am. I had to allow God to let me in there and understand you have faith in me. Everything the world say you can't do, I'm going to help you do. Anything a human say you can't get, I'm going to make sure you get and some. So, again, it's a lot of angles, y'all. It's a lot of people that want it, a lot of people that don't want it. And in the mix, the devil is keeping us confused. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, no matter how bleak or how grim it may seem, get back to your higher power, because that is the only one that is going to be able to make sure that you can get whatever your need is, despite what man say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got a few people that joined in. I tried to go to Ibrahim a little earlier. We got a little sidetrack. So Ibrahim, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to sit around and listen a little bit. I'm very passionate. I work with the homeless, and I think people have a concept about the homeless. I like the people that have been through situations. You need to talk to the homeless. You know, that's what I do. I go out, do videos, I talk to them, I try to help them. But another thing, too, that we don't have the ability, we don't have training, I think, and we don't have the motivation to do better. You know, we get comfortable. We get in a situation. And just like Badger said, you know, medical bills. I got medical bills that put me down. I lost my job because of my medical health. I had to fight, sue, go through a lot of things. But what I did do, I had the ability to sell. So I went and got with the flea market and bought stuff. You know, got some stuff for free, bought some stuff, sold some stuff, and I made it into a business. Until I got too sick, I couldn't even do that. And guess what? Once I got better, I got me another job driving trucks like I used to. Now that lasted for 2 years. It got me sicker. I got it back into the hospital. But you know what? The fight and the skills that I have are in me. I can fix things, repair things, do things, talk crap. I'm tall like a pine tree, black like a cold, talk more shit in the radio. You know, so anyway, that's my gift. But I understand that people, man, you talk to these guys, they're military. They're ex-veterans, they're ex-everything, doctors, nurses, everything. And it's not just drugs. It's mental attitude. It's finally life just beat them down and they just went laid down. You know, and some people never had a chance to get up. It's old blues song. So I was born on the bad side. So I had to fight for the first time I was born. I had to fight. The fight was on. Can't read or write. Whatever it is, these homeless people, you need to talk with them personally and look at their life without making judgment and evaluation, because your life turned out different ways and you succeeded in some where other people failed. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
All of us one day, from being in absolute abject poverty and starved to death. People starved to death on the street. People die. People don't want to be on the street because they want to be there. People die of diseases on the street every day, everywhere. You know, now if you want to blame them for starving to death on the street and dying on the street, that's up to you. But I think we need to really use compassion and understand that life ain't like we think it is. Life is real. It happens. Things happen. Always don't have the. Always meant some of us are teachers for other people.
Yeah.
We see a man die on the street, then you got to ask yourself, why let that man die? You know what I mean? Instead of blaming him. That's a teacher from your God, my God. Anyway, thank you for letting me talk this time.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna hand it over to other people that's more qualified than me.
Yeah, boy, you all right with me. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart?
Man, after listening to Navy, Cassandra Curtis, now Ibrahim, I ain't nothing else to be said.
Yeah.
On that end, I mean, like I said, when you're on the outside looking in, it's easy to be judgmental. When you're in a certain place and you didn't make certain decisions and you didn't go in that direction, it's easy to judge. But man, sit down and talk to some of them people. And now look, you know, like a lot of people like to toot their horn. Last week I had to help this homeless girl. I didn't have to, but I did it because I knew the atmosphere that we live in with this sex trafficking thing. And so somebody that I know put a post up about this girl. They seen her like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. She's sleeping on the sidewalk in front of a gas station. 22 years old. She ain't from here. Well, through, you know what I'm saying, lead work and concern, we found her family. Put 2 and 2 together, started linking her last name. I started linking it with people from here, but she ain't related to nobody from here. But at the same time, we were still able to use that. Found out she had a mom in Birmingham. She had just got out of rehab in Huntsville. And her dad had just died. That was the only person that she really dealt with. So we got her some help. I guess an outreach place. I want to say homeless shelter, Christian homeless shelter. These women, they came and got her. Sister something, I can't remember what the name was. They came and got her. But you know you can't stay overnight. So she had to leave. Next day she was right back down there, sleeping on the sidewalk. But the thing is that she got a story, man. You know, she's not the only one that's in this situation that, well, when you go to these facilities, they still ain't got enough to help you. Somewhere she probably had some mental health issues, being that she had just got out of drug rehab. I met another guy walking around with no socks on when it was like 40 degrees outside, 30 degrees. Needed a homeless shelter to go to, didn't have nowhere to go, didn't have no way to get there, was too far away. So many different situations, you know. So I'm listening to what they're saying, man. I mean, like I said, it's easy to sit back on the outside and say the way things are supposed to be and what somebody should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and telling them to do that, I mean, it's just like with the children. But at the same time, if you really are concerned enough to even give those opinions and to have that type of judgment, stick your nose in their business and see if you can encourage them to do that. Check on them. If it ain't your business, then it ain't your business to say what they should be doing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Not a whole bunch, just listening.
Okay.
Because, you know, what people have said, they've said based on their experiences and all these types of things. So, you know, everybody has their opinion. But once I always have to tell people, I think I've told you before, if the cloud moved, then you're supposed to move. You can be resistant, or you can move with the cloud. And you have to have some like I like with like Ibrahim. I love listening to Ibrahim because even Ibrahim with all that's going on, still doing what he has to do. And you know, and it's so funny when you like I said, my life don't fit every story, but I know I'm in the same position as a lot of people, but we don't down ourselves about it. We just work harder. We just do more. We just do something else. And one thing is, we're not resistant and we're not stubborn. But see, that cloud that's leading us is moving, and I'm gonna follow it. I'm not just gonna decide to worship other idols and do all those. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit there and complain about what God is and ain't doing. I'm going to move as directed.
That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. And again, okay, somebody's asking for it. It's Cash App. It's Cash App is $DKM Radio. $DKM Radio. That's the Cash App right there. So if you want to send something, that would be great. We're not gonna sit here and ask you for money and stuff like that. We don't do that. But if your heart leads you to send something, certainly do that. Cash App on $DKM Radio. Let me go to Willa. Willa, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, Raheem. Wonderful subject this morning.
Hey, appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you, sis. Need to ask you the question, man. How can America right the wrongs that is done to so many people across the board?
That's a great question, because first of all, we know that we can't change nothing that's happened, but we can always make it better as an American. And I've been listening to a lot of people on the line, how strong they have been in their lives. And one thing that I like is that they don't give up. They don't give up, because just like Toya, I love me some Toya because she's a great inspiration. She's a great inspiration to me, and I hope and believe to some people on this line, because that's what you need. You need persistence, because the way that the government is set up, it seems like they got you set up to fail, to me sometimes. And I want to draw attention to two things, and that's the homeless for one. And I mean, Rico touched on it. I mean, everybody has really with that homelessness, you know, going to these shelters, they're not all a good thing. Because sometimes you'll hear how some people say, I'd rather stay on the street or be in a park than go to a shelter. Because there are a lot of things in there that happen, like rape and people steal and there's abuse. And I mean, it's a lot of stuff that go on that we don't see because we're not in there. And the second thing is about hospital bills. I hate hospital bills. You know, and when you don't talk or say things to people, you don't know something, you can't find out something. So I was sharing about hospital bills to one particular accountant. She works in the hospital. And do you know that there are people that donate money to hospitals in order to pay hospital bills.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No.
So if you don't have the money to pay that little co-payment or whatever somebody keep bugging you about, you can actually go into that hospital and find out how much money was allocated for the charity of helping somebody pay their bill. Now, I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
I didn't know that. Yeah, until somebody told me that.
Mm-hmm.
So knowledge is definitely the key. Don't ever get into a position where you're embarrassed about what's going on in your life and situation, especially when you want something to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times people may say it's better for me to just be quiet than to say something, because sometimes people make your situation worse than what it is.
Yeah.
But that depends on how you handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to encourage all the inspirational people that we got on this line. Thank you so much for the knowledge and the inspiration that you give to me each and every day.
Praise God.
Amen.
To God be the glory. Absolutely. We're gonna go to Captain, and after that, we're gonna go to Dr. Cook. Dr. Cook, we're coming to you next. Cap, what's on your heart?
Well, I really see the thread, the line that unites all this conversation with everybody touched on. If I had to find the common thread, if I had to,
Hey Cap,
look at everybody.
are you talking directly into your phone, sir? It's just a tad bit low. Are you talking directly into your phone? Want to make sure everybody can hear me.
Can you hear me?
It's a little bit better, but it's still a little bit low. But go ahead, we can hear you.
What I was saying, the common thread. If I had to sum it up, and if I had to say, what did everybody say that was the same?
Mm-hmm.
We said different things because we had different experiences.
Yes.
Everybody agreed people would do better if they taught better. If you take and feed a person a fish, they eat a day. Take a poor person and teach them how to fish,
mm-hmm.
and they would eat forever.
Mm-hmm.
You have to educate. People have to be taught to come out together. As one sister said, they have to comprehend.
Yes.
I can say that, but if they don't comprehend,
mm-hmm.
So if you take someone who's in a impoverished condition,
yes,
and like Curtis and everyone that works with people, like Navy,
mm-hmm.
and you show them, grab them by the hand, they may not know how to hustle, and show them how. This is what you can do. This is how. Teach. If you teach them, people would do better.
Yes.
If you taught them better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was that. It ain't got nothing to do with the condition. Again, family, poor is an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a poor attitude. You could go to somebody and say, well, I can't do that. Well, you could do this. Well, they won't let me do that. But you could do this, but I would never be able to do that. There's some people, man, and remember, everybody that's homeless, some of them have mental health issues. For real.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is, you have to help people. Don't talk about them. Help them.
Mm-hmm.
Guide them. Give them the certain knowledge that would allow them to rise out of their condition.
Come on.
In some conditions that people are in because of the mental health challenges, the physical challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell a man that ain't got no legs, he's in a wheelchair. Well, you just got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
He went over to the war and got blown up. And he's got PTSD, whatever they call it, post-traumatic stress.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, man, you tell him, stop having a pity party for you. Of course, family, of course. I want to tip my hat and salute every one of you.
Yes.
Who are working with anyone, whatever you're doing, I don't care what you're doing, to bring some human being out of their condition. I salute you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Because that's being a human being.
Yes.
It ain't got
yes.
nothing to be about that's being an American.
Mm-hmm.
That's being a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Each one must teach one.
Yes.
Each one must reach one.
Mm-hmm.
Rise above your own personal condition, and you get your condition satisfied by helping somebody out of theirs. Thank you, man.
Exactly. Dr. Cook, that's good. Dr. Cook, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you all?
Hey, doing good, sis. We're asking a question. One part of the question is how can America right the wrong that is done to so many people over the years?
First of all, I changed my heart, accepting what has been done and moving forward, inspiring and motivating. Now, I was listening to some of the others that were talking, and I'm saying as a young child growing up, I didn't have that, that zest for going after things or seeing that I could do this and seeing that I could do that. And that was because I wasn't taught that I could do that. But once I got around other people, they were able to help me see what I could achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And I started achieving. But if it's not in your mind and
Come
if
on.
no one is teaching you and
Mm-hmm.
inspiring you and motivating you, but you also have to motivate yourself. But I started motivating myself after people were teaching me what I could do. But if it's not there in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
you will not do it because you don't have that concept of what you can and cannot do. And then
Mm-hmm.
also spiritually, if you don't have the Holy Spirit within, somebody striking that spirit within you, you will not do either because
Mm-hmm.
you don't see it and you don't understand
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically I resonated with what Miss Willa said and what the gentleman just said a moment ago because
Mm-hmm.
I was once that person and I couldn't see things I couldn't see in front of me, but God places people in your view to assist you.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a difference in the world. But also you got to basically be able to read, and when you read, you got to ask for an understanding. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know about that growing up. You see, we always grow every all the time spiritually, but God places people in your view to assist you with that. You just have to be receptive, and you
Yes.
can continue to grow. And you're gonna always. I'm saying I'm hitting a spot right now in my life, and there are people in my view that God placed in my view to help me continue to move on, to be in, to inspire myself and know that I can do, and that trouble don't last always. So we go through those spurts in our lives, but a lot of them are a test of your
Mm-hmm.
faith, and I have faith, and that I'm going to continue moving on.
Yes.
And when I thank Miss Willow, I didn't get a chance to hear Toya. I always like to hear what she has to say.
Well, I'm good.
And the gentleman that spoke, I thank you as well.
Captain. Yes, absolutely. And you say you love to hear Toya. Well, actually, we're ready to go to Toya right now. Toya, with a T, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
Hey, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with the phone. I just found back in. Did
Mm-hmm.
you ask?
No. That was Dr. Cook. She was just talking, and her and Willa was saying how much they appreciate your view on different things and how motivational and things of that nature you are. And I wanted to know that you want to say something, stand with the topic, or you want to say something different.
Oh no, stay on topic. No, I can only do that because I've experienced it for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've been on both sides of this road. Oh, I didn't know God, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. Yeah, well, he infiltrated me. Now I got a whole different kind of insight, and I can't help but spread it because I know we're all capable, and none of us different. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So it's like when we're in this world distracted. First, let's talk about you saying, can America change it? It's not America. It was the people in it, and some of these people are dead. Some of these people, you better be praying their spirits that the Lord do something with their spirit so it stop their kids, and their kids from repeating the same thing because that's what equals to the destruction of this world. We don't
Mm-hmm.
even acknowledge that the fact that we humans is exactly why everything else in its existence. And when our
Mm-hmm.
spirits ain't right, all this other stuff start going on because it kind of goes hand in hand. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to hold people accountable. And if we're going to talk about America, we got to hold these people accountable. The government represents America.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't expect anything to change if we're not making sure we get up and go vote. And when we do go vote, things don't go to our nature. We cannot just say something or do one action and think that things are going to get corrected.
Mm-hmm.
Just I'm learning this Christ walk. It's an everyday walk. Every day
Yeah.
I got to try and
Yeah.
be better and better because these demons have had me being the same old me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way with this government that we're dealing with in America. If we want to see change as citizens in America, we got to stay on them. We
Mm-hmm.
got to be attending these. This is why I love Rico. attending these meetings. Your grown behind need to be available for some of these young people to be able to call on you and help make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be fighting and defying the odds instead of bickering and arguing, fighting to get to some of these young folks who have no choice but to take these offices because we're getting old, and providing them with the tips and the tools that they need to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the only person that can make you see through all that, I'm sorry, it's the higher power, because without him, I would be too much into myself. Oh, what I need to do. I need to focus on this. I want to have kids. I want to get married. I want to get this. I don't have time for that. And that's not true. All of that goes hand in hand. If I don't take care of one thing, it's going to come back and get my kids. It's going to come back and destroy my husband. It's going to come back and get my business, because we're not making sure that we invest the right knowledge, the right time, and even just the right care and love to the proper people. And that's to the people that's, one, operating in this country, right? We got to get them back in check because they're out of control, especially these corporations. And then for two, our youth. We need to make sure that they are smart, they are educated, and they are prepared to lead us into the future. And if we do anything other than that, we're doing ourselves and this world an injustice. But thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mr. Hicks, talk to me, sir. Mr. Hicks, you there? Badger, what's on your heart?
I was thinking about what Toya just said. And because I've had people ask me or tell me, to use what I have to get back into like the computer field. And I've told them no. And it's not for the reason most people think. It's not that I lack the ability to do so. I just feel I was called to do something else. Ever since when I was blessed of being considered disabled or called disabled, I have used as much time as I can to volunteer to teach history, spirituality, to help others, have time to be on the radio show every morning. And that's what I've been doing with my time. Homeschooling my kids, being a part of parent-to-parent groups, being an advocate for mental health. I think there are times where those of us that might not have much as far as material or money goes, but we are gifted with something so much more. And I feel that is where our responsibilities lie. Am I ever going to be a rich man? No. That's not my calling. That's not my path. I have no interest in it. However, I will serve as a vessel to the best of my ability to help others, to help uplift others, and also meet others where they're at.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a very powerful understanding. So yes, there are always going to be those that are in certain situations, and it is because they choose to be.
Yeah.
I could sacrifice everything, all the knowledge that I have the privilege to have, and everything, to walk a different road. That is the freedom of choice that we all have.
Okay.
And but to me, the greatest thing I think that is wrong with America is our community values. I don't know how many more times I can say on this show that I have been treated with more respect as a human being in Black communities than I have any others. For being autistic, for being different, for being intelligent.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
So don't lose the community values. It's the
Mm-hmm.
community values that's going to help us rise above all this negative nonsense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Leonard, talk to me. Leonard, you there? Leonard, wake
Yes,
up.
I hear you, Ryan.
Okay. What's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I enjoy what Badger just said. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's about finding what it is you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a desire for people to have anything that I've chosen, but it's more important for me to have for them to have what they choose.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Christian. I believe in God,
Mm-hmm.
not this world. I don't trust this world. I don't trust nobody that way. So when I'm talking about a struggle, everybody, why would some people think that other people don't struggle? Everybody is struggling. Everybody's making choices
Mm-hmm.
to do what it is they want to do or what it is they would like to do or some vision. It's best to grab on hold to a goal and then to put some objectives to obtaining the goal. That's what it's about. It ain't about around sitting about giving up, giving in, and not having no hope and being fatalist and believe that your destiny is already set for you by somebody else. How do you be Christian and hold that narrative? How?
Mm.
Man hadn't walked in how long? Just one meeting. Pick up your bed and walk. You can't see? Do this. Don't matter what color the man was, how tall he was, nothing. I once was blind, but now I see.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to do something sooner or later, or something is going to be done to you. At least you can do is stand up. That's the least you can do. Is stand up for something. Pick something. You know, people talking about the dope dealer this. I don't care nothing about no dope dealer. Only reason why I don't sell dope is because of consequence. And if I really wanted to sell some dope, I'd go to school and I'd get this little certificate that say I could sell dope in any drug store I wanted to in America. I'd be a pharmacist.
Mm.
So it's, you know, and people, you know, and this is why I talk about the cloud moving on. When are you going to move on?
Mm-hmm.
When are
Wow.
you going to move on? Is it the fact that you don't have no blood on your doorpost? What is it that's keeping you from moving on? I mean, it's not about nobody else. It's about
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I take inspiration from Toya because she tells you exact the cold hard truth about the matter. But she rise. And then with Maya Angelou, that's why that poem is so important to so many people that are going through so many things, especially women. But still I rise. That's why
Mm-hmm.
women across the country started changing their mindsets and doing different things. And now look at this. Black girl magic is what they call it. When really
Mm-hmm.
all it is taking that common background that they may all have and flipping it in their best interest.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We got Tucson with us this morning. Tucson, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm good.
Huh?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, man. I ain't crying today.
There
It ain't my day.
There you go. I'm gonna ask you a question, Tucson. I want to hear your heart when you answer this question for me. You ready? How can America right the wrong that is done to so many people over the years? How can America right the wrong?
I can't. It's too late. And I'm sorry. I mean to say that because it's kind of like, have you ever seen somebody go to a top of the mountain with a bag full of feathers, dry feathers, in high wind, throw them out and retrieve every one of them?
Can't get them all.
No, it's too late for that. They done so much damage all across the world. Everything they put their hands on, they take and taken from anybody they can to make this American dream to use somebody, whether it's the Chinese, the African Americans, the Indians. It's too much. There's too much that's going on. So give up on that thing because it can't be done. And that's just me.
Wow. Rico, what do you say to that? Can't hear you, Rico.
I was actually trying to get on the stream, man. My phone about to die.
Okay, yeah, we got you on the screen. Let me mute you. Let me see. You got your. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, we got you. Oh, there you go. Hold on, Rico. We go. Let me put you on the screen. There you go.
Okay. You know, I think about this word called atonement. Now, that may happen in different ways. It might happen financially. It might just happen by apology, you know what I'm saying? But it still goes back to acknowledging what happened. You know, I think I said that from the very first time you asked me that question. But I want to go back to what we were talking about with these situations and conditions that people are in. And, you know, I was thinking about how everything has a process. And I can remember I was having a conversation one day with some of my cousins, and some of them, you know, they like to shoot dice. They on that shuck and jive stuff, and they was talking to one of my other younger cousins, and they was trying to put them on game. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And he asked some questions, and they just had a field day laughing at him. You so stupid, you little dummy this and you little dummy that. And I'm just sitting there shaking my head like, did they really expect him to already know this? So you can see the look on his face. And I told him, I like, look, man, I said, don't feel bad about asking those questions. Because if you don't ask questions, you won't know. If you just sit back and look and try to figure it out and pretend you know what's going on, you'll never know. Yeah. So you're doing right because they was making them feel stupid. I said, man, screw them. And I said this in front of them. Y'all act like he's supposed to know this. If he don't know, what he's supposed to do? If he don't ask a question, how is he gonna find out? And they still were like, oh, there you go on your Rico stuff, this and that. I'm like, no, I'm just telling the truth. Y'all want to make a joke, but y'all laughing at him, calling him stupid and dummy. He asking, so he will know. Y'all didn't know from the very beginning. Somebody had to tell y'all. So then I started thinking about when I was younger, and I first learned the concept of math. 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 + 2 = 4. And you know what I started doing? I started memorizing stuff. But then when somebody asked me to do a multiplication or addition, and I didn't know the process. Yeah. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
See, when somebody taught you the 2 + 2 = 4, for them to understand it, you had to show them the process of putting 1 line and 2 lines plus, and show them what a plus sign means. Oh, this plus sign means add. You putting these two together. So that 1 line and that 1 line is 2 lines. You know how to count? Y'all know how to count. Well, those 2 lines plus those 2 lines equals 1, 2 + 3, 4 equals. You break down that process and that concept. If you ain't got time to break down that process or that concept of people to understand how to get to a solution, to get to achieving their goal, to get to success, then you can't really take the time to condemn them, because if you see that they are lacking that, you see they're missing that, they might be missing knowing what the process is. Like we always keep saying, and if we're going to repeat ourselves over and over again, you have to be taught.
Yeah.
You have to be taught. There's a process to everything. There's even a process to doing things the wrong way. But you still have to learn the correct way, the correct process to get the 2 + 2 = 4. Because if you're just memorizing it, when it's time for you to do 2 + 3, you're going to look stupid. Now, it ain't that you're stupid. You just didn't know the process.
Exactly. That's good. Let me go to our Navy. Navy, what's on your heart?
Oh man, I think everybody has pretty much summed it up. I've enjoyed this commentary this morning, as I always do, though. But I just want to leave with this one thing of take each moment, and I take so much pride in this of being able to plant seeds. You
Mhm.
never know how that little bit of seed of hope, that little bit of seed of inspiration, that little bit of seed of perseverance, or whatever the case may be, could really change the outcome of somebody's life. And I
Mhm.
take so much pride in being able to be in a position to use the gift that I can now recognize as a gift that God has given me to be able to be a seed planter, a game
Mhm.
changer, a change agent, if you
Mhm.
will. So if nothing else from today, take every opportunity to try to be a glimmer of hope for somebody.
Yes. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Hello. What's on your heart, sis?
Raheem, I was thinking about when you was asking the question about America.
Mm-hmm.
And I work at the ballpark, Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
And when they say the national anthem, and I look around because when they say that everybody's supposed to be still, all lights are supposed to be off, I see how people look at the flag and they look at it with awe, like it really means something. They put their hand on their heart. Some people do. Some people just stand still. Some people take their cap off. Some people bow their head. And I mean, when they're singing the song, you see the ball players, how they're looking up and thinking about America, the American flag. And then after that, it's life starts. And then I think about how America has created a place that says that we got freedom. And then if you actually live here, the freedom that we have, we don't even appreciate it or say take advantage of the freedom that we have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it just makes you think about America, and then what kind of country do we live in, and how am I as an American going to adapt to the things that America has given me?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking about when you asked that question, right?
Wow. Wow. Tucson, talk to me, and that's good. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Well, I don't know what else can be said, but I never claimed this country. Been
Mhm.
here all my life,
Mm.
but I am a citizen. I got all my paperwork, I guess. But this is more pagan than places we recognize as pagan countries. And we talk about the in God we trust, and that's an untruth, because we trust in that mighty dollar. If it ain't about a dollar, it ain't about nothing.
Mhm.
We don't care for people. If they have any differences, we cast them aside. So, I don't know how the conversation started. I just jumped in at the end. But every day I think about if you're not an individual, you're not part of anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good deal. Let me go to Captain. Captain, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Captain. We're gonna change up a little bit here because I know, and people have been sending me different stuff from the California area about California. Got this big bill going on right now where they're working on the reparations, where they're working on giving reparations. How do you feel about reparations? And is that something that should have been done a long time ago? And should it be across the whole United States or in the world? Reparations. Let's talk reparations for a second.
Well, I think anyone who has been injured or harmed or abused unjustly is due reparation.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is applied to us as a people, most certainly we're due reparation. Our forefathers, our great-great-grandparents, who were descendants of slaves, gave free labor for 379 years, did not get paid one day, and made this country rich off of the sweat of our people's back,
Mm-hmm.
and did not give us nothing but was promised 40 acres in the mule, and we didn't even get back. Even though that Germany paid reparations to the Jewish people for her 5 years of abuse and keeping these Jewish people in the Holocaust, while we paid a hell of a cost. Yes. But the question is, if we are brought to the table to ask for reparations, what will we ask for?
Yes.
If
that was
they
my next
offered
question.
us some money, some would say, I'll take that. If they offered us some land, some say, I would take that. We would not be able to know what to ask for if we can't even talk and come together as a people to even know that we should be asking for reparations, because some believe being American is enough. So I do believe anyone, and it got nothing to do with us in slavery, just the question itself. Anyone who has been harmed and treated unjustly, and the person who harmed them and treated them unjustly recognize they harmed them and treated them unjustly, they are due. They are due reparations.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ibrahim, what do you say about that, man? Reparations. California, they have a bill going on right now where they're trying to pass the reparations for us as individuals. Do you think that it's taking too long? Do you think we even deserve the reparations? What is your heart on reparations, Ibrahim?
I can find years of slavery, and also that I think, and also the Aborigines, the black people that were here before the slaves came. Of course, people taking slaves and they fought against it. Anyway, I think we deserve that. I think I heard something that anybody can trace their family pre 1865 or something like that. Would that put me in good stead, because my family goes up way back. You know what I mean? And I think that's very important that we do that we have the reparations, because in 1865, when Abraham Lincoln, 1866, when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, his vice president returned that money to the people, the landowners, the people that own plantations, the masters, and lost of their property. So in saying that, I think that we deserve it because it's been paid out. How do you calculate something like that? You calculate that by what 40 acres and 2 mules look like today. What area? My people come from around Macon, Georgia, Atlanta, and Oconee County. That neighborhood for
you're breaking up real bad, Ibrahim. Ibrahim, you're breaking up real bad, brother. Your phone. I don't know what's going on with your phone. Is going in and out real bad. No, it's terrible, brother. It's terrible. Can't make out what you're saying. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to you. Hold right there, Ibrahim. I'm gonna come back to you because we got to make sure that we're putting the best quality out there, brother. And we can't hear what you're saying right now. Let me go to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, what do you say about this? Reparations. Is it deserved? Do we need it? Is it something that should have been given to us a long time ago? Good morning, Rain.
It's precedent already been set. Like the brother just saying, after Lincoln gave the land to the slaves as part of the agreement, they gave it back. The Japanese was locked up in the war, and they got that. It's a precedent. I don't know how the formula, how you would do it. What would be the formula? But sure, it need to be redressed. I think that would be a point of starting over and fresh start.
Wow, that's good. Rico, I see you smiling over there, brother. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious answer is yes, yes, and yes. But I'm smiling because, like Hicks just said, the precedence has been set, and we still asking this question.
Exactly.
All I can do is shake my head. The precedence has been set. We shouldn't even be asking this question anymore. But guess what? There are forces out there that exist that are fighting against it, and they still condone what happened, and they refuse to acknowledge they were wrong, and they still want us to just pull ourselves up by our bootstraps.
Exactly.
And understand 2 + 2 = 4 without even giving us the steps in the process to even learning how to count.
Wow.
Because you really ain't supposed to get educated.
Exactly.
You're supposed to just be trained to work.
Mm-hmm. That's all
I
you're good
mean,
for.
so we
Like,
still asking this question, and it's already been set in concrete that this is how you right your wrongs. You compensate these people, the Jews, the Japanese, and the white people that got what you call sort of handicapped when they lost them slaves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow, it's a lot, man. And that's why I wanted to go to this particular time. We only got a few more minutes left in the broadcast, but I definitely wanted to talk about this. Joseph, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, sir. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, brother. Definitely good to have you. Let me get a phone number before I go to you, Joseph. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Joseph, we're talking about reparations. Are they due? Are they past due? California's actually got a big bill going on right now where they're trying to actually give it, but should that be across the board? What do you say to that, Joseph?
Yes, I really believe and I really hope that we would broaden our discussion about it. I mean, there's some people who are at the forefront of the reparation movement who are very, very versed in this subject. I've been doing some reading on it, and in fact, I'm reading a book right now that's entitled. I got it in front of me here. That's entitled "After Slavery: Race, Labor, and Citizenship in the Reconstruction South." Very powerful book. Was by Eric Foner. But anyway, it's dealing with that particular subject. And Senator Thaddeus Stevens, during the time before Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, was very adamant about giving reparation to the slaves following the end of the Civil War. Now, Andrew Johnson, the Lincoln predecessor, successor, I'm sorry, was in favor of giving the Confederate their land back and everything, and giving them reparation, giving the landowners reparation. So that argument should continue to this day, and it should be brought out because a lot of white Americans are ignorant of this fact.
Wow.
Okay, they don't understand that this is not a new subject. It hadn't been hashed out thoroughly in our political body, and it's still alive, and it needs to be revisited, and we need to really educate the public because see, we shouldn't have no problem tracing our lineage back because most of us still got a slave master's name.
Yeah, exactly.
Joseph Wheeler was a Confederate general. So I'm fighting Joe Wheeler, but I got a different fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But it comes to that Civil War general. So we got the last name that ties us back to the plantation where most of our people were working back in slavery time. So yes, this is a good conversation, and I think not only do white people need to be fully educated about it, we in the African American community need to be fully educated. So we got some of us who are confused, and they on that conservative train and talking about don't nobody owe you nothing. The heck they don't. They owe us a lot.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it's ongoing. I mean, the policy, the racist policy, the systemic racism is ongoing. There are still impediments. We sued Coca-Cola in 2000, and I learned that whites down there were making $7,000 more than their black counterpart, and some of them didn't even have the credentials that the black people had. I mean, you had.
That's reality.
Some of them had GEDs, and the black person had a master's degree.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is a reality in America.
Slap in the face, brother. Slap in the face. Absolutely. Somebody asked, where we screaming from? We actually out of Atlanta, Georgia. We actually are here out of Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, we do. We broadcast across the board, so definitely be a part of it. And good to have you. And give us a call, too. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. There's so much going on. Dr. Cook, are you still with us? Dr. Cook, you there?
I'm here. I'm listening and taking things in.
Let's talk. Let's talk about reparations. How do you feel about reparations?
Excuse me. I feel that our people are
indeed due for reparations.
Mm-hmm.
I basically, instead of saying reparations, I say inheritance because we do need our inheritance
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
based upon what our people went through. We are due reparations and I also call it inheritance as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I agree with what the caller just said. We are due for that.
Exactly.
And I hope that we do achieve that. But the way things are going, it doesn't appear that it's gonna happen. But I do believe that we are due for reparation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Curtis, are you there?
Been here the whole while.
Hey, talk to me, brother. Reparations. What's on your heart?
It ain't much to talk about right here.
Come on, talk to, educate them. Got people listening, brother. It is. Talk to them.
First and foremost, I come from a family that's directly connected to slavery on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? My grandmother, Annie Merrill, was the daughter of former slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Grandmama Annie Merrill remembers when the Raiders burnt their house down on different occasions. My grandfather's side of the family, they were the woman responsible for birthing this nation right here was actually given to a Scottish dude as a present. She was a house slave as a bit present. So are we due reparations? We've been due reparations. We are the only group. We are the only group or subset in the global culture that has not received some form of reparations by the nation for which it exists.
Wow.
The Jews
wow.
got it.
Yes.
You mean to tell me that the slave masters that we said slavery was foul? The master reparations before the people who suffered through the injustice got it. The slave owners got paid. Even down to the conception of this country. The conception of this country is based on intergenerational wealth. That's why you still have so many poor black folk, because you already started out on the second list when basically look at it like a race. Let's say we take 10 horses, we take them out to the track, right? Take 10 horses out to the track. When the gates come open, I'm going to mandate that Raheem, your horse cannot move. He cannot move until all the other horses run around the track one time. Now you take the generational wealth, and guess how many times those horses run around? At the bare minimum, 4 times they run around the track before we even let you out the gate. Before we even let you out the gate, and the expectation is for you to do what? Win.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, we do reparations. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I'm gonna tell you something. If that be the case, and then I ran around 4 times, then they let me out the gate, me and my horse. Boy, look out! It's gonna be some shooting, some horses going on. There's every time I pass one, I'm gonna shoot him. Bow, bow.
I'm cheating. I'm cheating.
Every time I pass a horse, I'm shooting him. Bow, bow.
And you know what? Last but not least, let me say this to anybody, and this is just me speaking from my own personal experience and what I know about history, because I was a history major too. To anybody who says that, oh, I don't need a handout, I don't care how you are, and that tells me that you realistically are the dumbest person on the planet, because you don't understand history. You're not accounting for history. It's not a handout. It's what you are owed.
Pay me my due. Pay me my due.
Pay me.
Exactly. Badger, talk to me, Badger. What's on your heart?
Man, I was waiting. I think reparations is a beautiful thing. And however, I think before before it is given, everyone needs to be given access to financing and actually taught what to do with it to all the communities. And not just give it out willy-nilly. Give access to mental health and things like that, because I don't want to see all this given to people and so many people not use it in a good way. I don't want to see it just blown willy-nilly. You know, I want to see actual help by those corrupt bleepity bleeps that are running this country. I can't cuss on here, so
no.
Those I'm so tired of separation. I am tired of when people deserve something and it being declined over and over again over some nonsense of saying that it's going to hurt our country. When you're investing in people, it always comes back to fill the corporation's pockets anyway.
Yep.
It's a lump sum. So yes, it might hurt at first, but you're going to get more educated people, more people investing. And it's not just going to be in one or two neighborhoods. It's going to be nationwide. I mean, to be honest, Biden was just putting out a bill just got passed for American companies, right? To start producing the silicone for microchips and everything. I wonder what would happen if reparations came out and the communities were offered finances and things, and how many of those communities would start the business up. Oh wait, that takes intelligence that these races, something I can't say, don't want to happen.
20 seconds.
So in my opinion, you just need to group all them people together and send them up on, put them out on an island, and make sure they get fed and everything, just like you would people in those retirement homes, and get these young, intelligent people in there.
Wow. Toya with a T. Toya, you there?
Yes, sir.
What if they tell
I'm
you?
here.
What if you were told we're doing reparations? Reparations are coming. You're going to get your reparations, but in your package, it's going to be $10 million. $10 million. We're going to give you $10 million and a passport, because once you get this money, you can no longer stay in America. Well, what is your response? What is your response to that?
Well, I don't know how they can do that. You know, I don't want to leave here. That's not what I'm looking to do. Right? If you are told that you purchased a cologne that is a Versace cologne for $300, and you find out it was a knockoff, you're gonna want your money back. And that's like what America's done. America is just giving people their money back for something that they swindled. They found out it wasn't right, and they're reporting it. And because your folk did me wrong, my folk wrong, and you got to pay back what you owe my folk because they're not here to clean. You want me to leave? No, ma'am, Tam, beef, or chicken. No. No, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going anywhere. But you can run me that check, right? Then I'm really going to make you mad, because now we're going to start investing in infrastructure. I'm going to make sure we're really dependent if I got to do anything to do with it. I don't want to go anywhere. Why y'all leave? Y'all came here too. Didn't y'all get dropped off? Oh no, y'all chose to come over here. And you took the rest of us. But no, I'm not going nowhere. You can run that 10 mil, right? We can take the 13, 14% of the population that we say is black, put all that together, and then we can start to build our own electric companies, solar companies, start and be totally sufficient, and leave them out in the woods and let them see what it's like to be in the wilderness for a while. Because we already know the money that's generated, we already know where that comes from, because they don't spend no money. So stop with the jokes. Stop with the jokes. I'm going to go ahead and get my little stay. I'm going to stay right on over here, and you're going to still run me that check. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? But again, I don't think that would be a stipulation. We're not going to go for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't put a stipulation. That goes against all the constitutional rights
that they're trying to so-called amend. You know what I'm saying? And again, the only reason why they don't come off of it is not because they know that it's not good business practice, and they know it's not not very honest to keep reparations away. But they have to do their job. They're the enemy. They cannot just step back and allow people to get the money that they sold their souls for, sold their grandkids' souls for to get this money, and just give it up easily. So that's where we come to fight. God said that the head will be the tail and tail will be the head, and things are about to switch. We have to be prepared and ready to go and ready to collect when those things get ready to switch over.
Absolutely. Period. Absolutely. Tucson, you had your hand up, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I was just thinking about when you talk about during slavery and then some other free labor, but then you got sharecropping, and then now not only that, you got the housing industry where you just automatically decrease the property value just because I moved there. The jobs have. I'm working right on the side of somebody that's doing the same thing as me, and you underpaying me. So many different things that has gone on that has a value to it. That maybe we take another look, because it's not only the free labor slavery, but then when they said they was going to pay you at the end of the crop, you still didn't get nothing.
Yep. Wow. Rico, I see you jumping up and down over there, brother. What's on your heart?
Oh man, everybody hitting it on the head, man. I mean, it even goes back to the people that just had things confiscated. You know, you think about the Wilmington, North Carolina, and Black Wall Street. You know, all the things that were destroyed from the people that did actually start accomplishing stuff. You know, in Wilmington, North Carolina, they did what they did because the man wouldn't actually spend money with the white business people. And they finally got fed up, and they went and took his business and overran the newspaper. They wanted to stop the circulation of information. They wanted to control that. So, I mean, you know, I think about that, man. You know, I'm glad Joseph called in and mentioned that about the subsidies that were given. And Ibrahim brought that up about the subsidies that were given when they ended slavery, and they paid the slave owners or the slave masters for the losses. I think about the Japan and what happened with the Jewish people and the compensation and reparations that they had going on. And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Not only did a lot of black people not know that these people were compensated for that, but a lot of white people don't know. A lot of the white people are saying, "Oh, y'all don't need no reparations." They don't know. Okay, y'all did. The slave masters got compensated. But once again, it goes back to something like Willa said earlier. And it sums up pretty much this whole conversation. The reason why we have to be understanding and have some outreach, that we have to be willing to want to educate people as much as we can when we see that they're moving in an order that may seem like they might not know any better. We have to take that opportunity, because number one, who would even assume that the hospital would have money allocated to pay a hospital bill for you? You know, it goes back to one thing to ask a question, but then why would you even fathom asking that question? Because who would assume in today's time that is even a situation that's available for someone to have money allocated to pay hospital bill? So once again, if you don't know, you can't do any better. If you don't know that this exists, you can't go and request to say, "Hey, y'all got any money put to the side to help me with this bill so it won't go on my credit?" Because like she didn't know. That was my first time hearing about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's intentional for some people to not know about it.
Exactly. Let me go to Captain. Of course, somebody just put a question up here. Captain, you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay. A question came across Isaac. I think it's Isaac Dr. Smith. I think that's what it says. It's across the room a little bit. I'm having a hard time seeing it. But it says, ponder on this. If our ancestors came here to be slaves, why haven't we went back home? And then the second part says, America is the land of our captivity. So who needs saving? I'm trying to read it across the room a little bit. But what do you say to that, Captain?
Well, history has shown that during the emancipation, there were some slaves that went back home and established under the country of Liberia. And so some did.
Mm-hmm.
It was also told by the talented Tenth that Abraham Lincoln said to them that, we would never treat you as our equal.
Mm-hmm.
And that we would do what we can to help you go back home. And there were some Negroes that said, well, we desire not to go back home because they felt that they had put so much sweat and blood that this was our home.
Mm-hmm.
So there are those who do not want to go back home only because of the negative image that has been portrayed to majority of Black people.
Mm-hmm.
If all you know of Africa is what they showed you on television, us running around here with a bomb in our nose, running around in the jungles ever butt naked, and that's your image because you never been to Africa to see, that ain't the image.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to go home to, as Donald Trump called, one of them S-hole countries. So we want to go back home to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have people who have been taught to see their own homeland in a negative light. But if they see what I've been blessed to see in my 3 trips to Africa, I think that attitude would change. Yes, there have been some Blacks that went back home after slavery.
Okay.
And at the same time, we are in a country that is a captive. It is a land that has been captive. We are now people who have come up in our lifetime as a captive people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we say we're free. That's good. That sounds good. And we are. We have a certain freedom, but that's what emancipation meant. Abraham Lincoln didn't free slaves. He emancipated slaves, which means free you from one power, free you from one hand, but not one's control.
Mm-hmm.
Free you from one hand, but not one's control.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they also said, I think there was in response to what you were saying while you was talking, they say Liberia, not our home. And then they actually sent a lot. I wish they would call in 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. We're gonna be here for just a few more minutes, not a lot. So if you got an opportunity, Isaac, give us a call, 508-924-3521, and we'll definitely have this conversation for the short amount of time that we have left. So if you're free, give us a call. That way you ain't got to worry about keep typing, ain't got to worry about keep reading it. You can talk directly. 508-924-3521. Willow, what's on your heart?
Raheem, I was just listening to him when they were talking about the freedom of choice.
Mm-hmm.
We have a certain amount of freedom. It's another thing to talk it, but it's another thing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not satisfied with a certain something, why stay in it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be living in a place where I'm unhappy. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I got that freedom to choose to go, first of all, anywhere in the United States that I want to. That's the option that we have right now, if we want to.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going to stay a certain place, if I choose to stay into a certain place, I'm not going to get comfortable in an abusive situation or abusive mental situation where somebody is making me live my life every day, because time is precious. Time.
Mm-hmm.
If people realize how much time is precious, Raheem,
mm-hmm.
because we don't know when the day nor the hour when the Son of Man is going to call us home. So I don't want to live a life in a situation where I do have a certain amount of freedom to be happy and choose not to be.
Exactly.
That's what I want to say right here.
Good deal. Joseph, what's on your heart before we get out of here, brother? Joseph, you there? Curtis, talk to me. Everybody might have stepped away for a second. Everybody might have stepped away just for a second. But let me go to I know Tucson is here with me. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. you're gonna get $10 million, Toussaint, but you're also getting a passport, because once you cash that check, you can no longer stay here in America. What do you do?
Well, $10 million ain't gonna get me nowhere.
$10 million. 10.
Yeah, I heard what you said. I said $10 million is not going to get me nowhere.
Okay.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh, and I heard you.
Hey, I mean, really, when you add up the years, then I got too many ancestors and relatives that are due. So I'm not going to wind up with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Go where? See, the thing about it is, if you add it all up, right, and I'll shut up because we're out of time. What's old is the country.
Mm-hmm.
So sell America and pay off.
Tell them who.
Okay, I had to put that number. I put the number in the chat box.
Okay.
Toya, you about to say something?
No, who to where?
I just want to. I don't care who buy it. I'm just saying whatever it costs, let's have it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But Dola gonna make somebody mad with that one right there, boy.
We're gonna produce it in America, and we can do that. That's feasible.
Mm-hmm.
They keep acting like it's not feasible, but yes, it is. We got to get back to producing something, and we can produce something and make a profit, and we don't have to make people slaves to do it. We're just being greedy in America right now, and that's why we're going to crumble.
Mm-hmm.
But that can be done, and it can be paid, but that would be too simple.
Mm-hmm.
That would be too much like right to make that happen. But you're absolutely right. And again, we don't have to wait for them.
Mm-hmm.
We have constitutional rights right now to pull our money together and let's buy a manufacturing company. Let's buy what it takes to get it rolling, that we know is something that is a necessity, and commit to it. We do it for Apple.
Mm-hmm.
We do it for Chrysler, Benz.
Mm-hmm.
So we really don't have to wait on anyone. We just got to act like a Nike and just do it.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
This imaginary ghost that's holding us back is gone, y'all. Let's put our money together. What's up?
Mm-hmm. Look, watch this. And this ain't a lot, but if everybody do something, we'll get it done. I throw the first 100, 200, 300 in there. I throw the first couple of hundred in the pot. I throw it in the pot right now. Y'all let me know what y'all want to do. I throw the first couple of hundred in the pot. Y'all, everybody else throw a couple of hundred in the pot. Before you know, we got 10,000 people throwing $100 in the pot. We might be moving in a direction. We might be moving in a direction. We got 10,000. Rico, do the math for me. 10,000 people give $100. How much is that? Anybody that's quick on math? Anybody that's quick on math?
That's $1 million. 10,000 times 100.
Yeah, that's $1 million. $1 million. Yeah. Okay. Now we start off with $1 million. Now we continue to do that thing, or we invest that million into something that's gonna bring something else to it. Now before you know, we got 10 million, and we can continue the process. We're not gonna get it done.
And we can do that a month.
Yeah.
We can do that a month.
Exactly.
You can do that a month. Everybody could invest that a month.
Exactly.
And we could still do something. But then there will still have to be a move. We talking about we want white people money. White people invest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have to invest in. We have to now make homes and pay our own rent.
Yep.
And when we pay rent, we're paying ourselves. We don't get the house and then don't want to do nothing, don't want to pay for nothing no more. That's not the goal. We got to make it go around. So it's going to be an effort that has to go with that.
Now, if we were to say, and that's absolutely true, it's going to take an effort. It's definitely going to take an effort. But if we put it out there, just say, and we're about to get out of here. It's 10:13. We got to go. But if we say everybody that's on here, that's a part of this broadcast right now, and other people that's going to come on in the future, we say, look here, we need you to donate $100 a month. That's $25 a week. $100 a month, $25 a week, and we do an outreach and let people that's listening do the same thing. How long would it take us to get there? It won't 58 countries, y'all. How long is it gonna take us to get there? $100 a month, $25 a week. How many people would be willing? That's the thing. That's the thing.
There's a lot of other factors though that deals with that commitment too, Raheem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other factors that deals with that commitment because so many people have not done right, don't do right, and it's a trust issue. This is a project that needs to be, sat down, analyzed, paperwork needs to be in place, people's names need to be on, need to be submitted. We need to have a bank that it's going to. Nobody can draw it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because there's too many variables that are going to allow people to not trust the system. But if we put our heads together, put people in place.
Yep. And see, and in order to even start something like that, we gotta have all those how to say the I's gotta be dotted and the T's gotta be crossed. All that gotta be done before anybody even send a dime. All that stuff gotta be taken care of. But how many people are willing to, once all that stuff is done, just in the mind of thinking, all that's done, we know who's gonna be over there. We know where the money's gonna go. We know how it's gonna be kept. We know we can't be taken out unless all of us come together as a collective unit and say we're gonna use this money toward this right here. All that stuff is done. All the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. How many people you think will really be willing to do something like that? That's a heck of a question.
I think a lot of people would, depending on if the blueprint was right. If you got the right blueprint, you know what I'm saying, a business plan, a model, to get them some type of vision of what to see, they probably would. I mean, y'all get a chance, y'all look up this man Farouk, Faruk Hunter.
Put in the thing so I can put it on the screen.
He's starting his own community on the border of China and Kazakhstan. Now he has a community in Atlanta too. He's from Tuskegee, Alabama, and I've seen this process, and just seeing this with my own eyes, I'm like, man, I'm real live watching a man from Tuskegee go to Atlanta, buy land and make his own community, and then decide, you know what, man, I'm tired of dealing with America. I want to become my own country and move and get land with the help of Kazakhstan and China, right down the border where he's trading. And here he's about to become a producer along with the people in his community and producing resources and getting access to resources. So, I mean, man, it's about having that mindset and even knowing how to get to that point, how important it is, and then passing that message along. It can happen. It definitely can happen, but you got to have people on the same page.
Exactly.
A lot of the people right now that are the producers, they still don't have that vision of being a producer. They just want to own a business so they can go and live the best life they want to live, and then go and show everybody how fabulous it is to make money. But they're still not trying to be a real major producer.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about. And that's the direction I really would like to see us go in, man, where we actually doing things and becoming that producers as a collective unit, become that producer and make things happen. The brother Isaac said a brother by the name of Ben X has done that. Captain, you know what that is?
Yeah, that's our brother in the nation, Brother Ben X. He has gone around the country as a young He's gone around the young man and got people to buy into giving up their land or selling and getting up their land to cultivate farmland and build communities on the land. Many of our people have land that they have inherited, but they have not done nothing with it. They see and recognize him being an honest person, and they don't mind giving that land to him so he could develop it and cultivate it, that you could build on it communities as well as farming. Yes, Ben X, he's one of the youngest dudes out there that has a following that's unbelievable, and I like to say I had something to do with his training.
Absolutely.
I was on the platform with him one night. He invited me on the platform, man, and just like we do right here, man, I was on there speaking, man, and that young brother right there, he's something powerful, man, motivational. I mean, he, to me, I told him he motivated me more than I motivated him, and he was giving me a lot of, I'm gonna say praise. But I was telling him, I'm like, bro, you young man, you got me motivated. So I mean, yeah, that's a powerful young brother. Brother being next, that's another one.
Absolutely. And so that's the direction that I would love to see us go in right there. That's really the direction I would love to see us go in. But right now, Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to see or hear the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Powerful broadcast today. Is she here?
I am today, Raheem. Let's go.
Willa, are you ready to go?
Raheem.
Come on now.
I am so ready.
Well, you know what,
Let's
Willa?
go.
You know what, Willa? You know what, Willa? Let's go.
Let's go, Raheem. Let's go. Father God in heaven, Lord, we thank you. We thank you, Lord, first for allowing us to get up this morning to see another day, a day that we probably would never see again. But Father, I want to thank you so much for what you've done in our lives. Father, we know that you are an unconditional, loving God. And we thank you for that, Lord. Father, we thank you for what you do in our lives, how you provide for us each and every day, oh Lord. Father, we thank you that you give us the mindset to help one another, Lord. Father, you said it in your word that if we love you, then we must love your people. I thank you, Lord, for that. I thank you, Lord, for providing your word to heal us, Lord, to guide us, give us wisdom and understanding and showing us your ways. Father, thank you for the Holy Spirit dwelling in our lives. I'm asking you to touch each and every last one that's on this line, Lord. I'm asking you, Lord, to answer their prayers in Jesus' name. Father, we believe and trust you and trust no man. Thank you, Lord, for what you do. Father, we give you the honor, the glory, and the praise. Touch Raheem and his family and DKM Radio. Thank you, Lord, for keeping it successful. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, and amen. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah, and glory to God.
Yes. It's been a great broadcast, y'all. It's been a great broadcast. I definitely enjoyed what we talked about, and we have to grow. We have to grow. We have to grow. We could talk about these situations. We could talk about them all day, but unless or until we come together collectively and do what we have to do, we can be the example for somebody else. Now, imagine if we come together and we do it, and then there's another group over here. They do the same thing. Then there's another group over here to do the same thing. Man, that's gonna help everybody. That could help everybody as a whole. So we have to make a difference. We have to make a difference. We have to be that difference. Anybody have anything they want to say before we get out of here? Good deal. It's been a great broadcast, man. It's 10:21. Y'all owe me for 14. Y'all owe me for 17 minutes. Y'all, we went 17 minutes over today. But yes, we're here every day. For the people that's just tuning in, we're here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every day. 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. So make sure you come back and hang out with us, call in, be a part of the broadcast. We certainly would love to have you. Now, it's 10:21. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:21. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day, and please, please, please be blessed. See you tomorrow. If God say the same, take care of each other. Love you.